Yo, minor, thanks everyone for watching and for tuning in. This is Evlog entry shit talking in stations number 4. So, here's what's on the good agenda, boys and girls. We're gonna be doing that elite solo PvP as some kind of intro, and that 1800 Eve time we'll record our shitty podcast, right? Let's swoosh the rifter and then we can get started. Swoosh. Swoosh. Fuck yeah, miners, thanks everyone for watching and for tuning in and for being here. What are you all doing? How's your day going? Chad, W1, Pyro, Ghetto Ghost, Loxy, Johnny Potpie, CSI Stormreach, Midnight Space Monkey, Mure, Mursu, Dr. Laserbomb, Nu Baron, Slavickula. Slavickula was legit first. The Gunvoid Walker was camping it and Ghetto Ghost before it even started. Yo, what's up friends? Yeah, so we're gonna be joined with Juzuv's gonna be hosting it, and there's gonna be Suitonia, Frank, DTM, and yours truly. That Russian, that sounds like yeah, he's the host, right? Juzuv, Market Tycoon 07 Minor. Okay, let's go straight into the killing. 6, 6, 1, 2, 3. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6. Yep, Juzuv is the legend for sure. He's a good dude.
Swoosh!
Oh man, that transition is lit. Okay, so here's JB's Firetail. They adjusted the interior of the station again. It's kind of like they're zeroing in on the good shit, but like we gotta be... Like, the occlusion map is fucked up. He's like too bright. He's like swimming in light, right? And the background is too dark. So there's still work to be done on this topic. But it's like the interiors are really nice now. Lol, Johnny Potpie, mine. Lisa says that Rifter is breaking the speed limits. Lol, 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 lol. I mean, technically he is. He doesn't have a speeding permit. Oh yeah, what is he doing? Bruh, fuck your Google, lol. Oh yeah, that's the blobby blob. Let's see if they
Warp drive active.
Anyone know how to wash? LOL! LOL! I mean... Probably like everything else. Oh yeah, fuck yeah, Ghetto Ghost, yeah, exactly that. So, the Keepstar is now a free port. Which means everyone can dock there. Like, we should run fleets from there as well. Hey, what do you do? Check out this smallplex, please.
Warp drive active.
I wanna smoke a cigarette, friends. You dudes, smoking is bad for your health. Fair warning, never do this, yes. Ain't shit there, boys. Let's go to Hove. Sounds like you're stuck with these failed missions. Lol, 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 lol. That's kind of like an overreaction right there, isn't it? I mean... Can't quit missions, ail me. How's Borderlands 3? Is it good or shit? What's the word? Says Borderlands 3 is not out a few months yet. Man, was I hallucinating watching dudes playing it, lol? I was.
Active.
Yeah, everyone's hyped for that, lol. That's gonna be like the... Like literally everyone's gonna be playing that. Says there's a curated demo stream event happening in May, but the game doesn't release until September. Fuck yeah, thanks for the intel. Okay, we got that figured out then. Guy confused. Dark Souls 3, yes, yes. Yeah, so what he's doing? Nothing. Let's go to Frere Store.
Warp drive.
There's still
active.
that incursion, so we can't really go there. We're gonna have to loop around. Hey, Hazel says, I am a simple man, I read Suitonia, I tune in. Yep, he's gonna be recording that Shittalking Station podcast which Juzuv is hosting. Right, we're gonna be recording it live. This is our solo PvP intro, and then after that we're gonna be alt-tabbing to the TeamSpeak and recording it. What's Suitonia doing? You should be streaming, lol. Wasn't he streaming earlier? Yo. Okay, Ardar is fine, but Flosseswin is not.
Warp drive active.
Evlog, will this go in as an Evlog entry? Probably not, right? This is probably going to be a special kind of thing, right? That sounds reasonable to me. I'll have to make a YouTube playlist for the VODs and whatnot. And Juzuv hosts the exact podcasts on his website. Hey, what's he doing? He's invisible. Okay, we can't go there. That's an incursion. That's like feed, lol. So let's go to, how does that call? The North Pipe, right? Says he did Master of Esoteria earlier. Nice, fuck yeah. Make sure to check out our good buddy streaming and everyone streaming. Like, for real, the more people stream, the better. Rezudes. Okay, the Rapture. I don't think we can really fight the Rapture. We'll go for it. Yeah, he's nowhere to be seen. Fuck it. Hey, we're gonna have to go to Cloggery. Yep. Okay, Cloggery and those things, that's where like dudes run their dumb missions and shit and plexing and whatnot. Maybe we can find some Care Bears there. We'll see. And then we'll go south into like Kurmana and Kamala and those places. So how's your Friday going, friends? Man, thanks everyone for watching and for tuning in. You dudes, if you have any kinds of questions or suggestions or want to share some stories with us or whatnot, please write them there. Hey Daddy Deep 0707, thanks for tuning in. How are you doing? DTM says, wood, Legend of the Warzone. Hey, Miner, thanks for tuning in. How are you doing? You dudes, check out our good buddy DTM streaming. He runs an awesome stream. Yo, and he's gonna be joining us in the podcast recording. Man, I'm so hyped. Fuck yeah. Oh, that's gonna be some good shit. We're gonna stir up a bunch of strange dramas and controversies. Feels good. You dudes, hope your bodies are ready. Oh man, that's gonna be lit. Do you feel the Korax buff's impact yet? Yeah, for real, that's gonna be like... I mean... Just wait, I have the ultimate... Oh, yes. Shit. Hey, let's go to Egmar.
Warp drive active.
3:20 a.m. Saturday morning. Oh, Lisa, you're in the future? Shit. But tell us some lottery numbers and stuff. Lol. Okay, no, pardon, sorry, that's bad joke. Yeah, you remind me of me. I also suffer from this insomnia. I can't really sleep, so were you at the Turbofall Club? Oh, that shade, lol. Korax buff is the true showing of CCP skill at balance. Shit, lol. Damn, son. Oh man, that shade, that's so good. Fuck yeah. Do you think any one of those dudes in charge of the balancing can kill my Firetail in their Firetail? I don't know, friend. Hey, Monkey 07 Miner. Can anyone deny the the what of the viability of the Caracal Navy issue balance. Yeah, like he has drones now. Lol, that command there. Oh, the Dramiel. Yes. Everyone chill the fuck out. I got this, boys. Let's see what he's doing. Okay, I'm gonna warp to this novice plex, and then we'll see.
Active.
He can't really deal with the two webs afterburner. This ship's underperforming. Well, shit, just add some drones to it, right? Yep. Okay, go fight, Dramiel, come on now. He sees me in this plex, and now he's like, he needs to decide if he wants to fight Firetail or not. Come on. Nope. Fuck your Jack though, lol. Okay, let's go to home, okay.
Warp drive active.
Says it's post trash. Okay, thank you. Oh, Monkey, thanks for the host, my nerd. Yo, are you gonna be joining us in the podcast as well? Did I, like, miss that thing out? You dudes, everyone, please make sure to check out our good buddy Monkey. He runs an awesome stream and is a good dude. Says will be, okay, I'm adjusting the title. And there we go. Up to date, yep. Okay, scene 1, take 7. Oh, let's see this. Ah, fuck it, let's go for this one. What's that Goonie Goon doing? Yo, swing. Lol, too many monkeys. Lol. Ree. Lol. Oh, my dudes. Hey, which one is it? This one. Feed time, boys. Merlin Tormentor versus Firetail. I'll tap back to the stream, friends. It's content time. Yep. Oh, what's up? Shit, one of them warped off. The other one's just sitting there. Mira, what are you doing? Both of them were, oh, well, fuck, lol. Okay, then. Never mind. They didn't want to fight 2 versus 1 in their favor. What's the master plan there? He, like, warped to the medium and then... Yeah. Fuck your Merlin. Then Tormentor. Okay, let's go to the all, boys.
Warp drive active.
What's that print screen? Let's see that. Oh shit, is that for our respected channel? 345,000 views. Sick, lol. Man, that's mind-boggling. That's like 15 times the population of the city I live in. Damn, son. Pff, lol. Okay, then. That's a thing, right? Shit, thanks, friends, for your support. Man, like, I should stream more, for sure.
Warp drive active.
I should work towards having daily 8 hours of uptime. Yes, and make YouTube Let's Play series, for sure. Hey, ain't shit there, lol. Okay, let's go south to Auga.
Warp drive active.
Yep, that's all decent suggestions. Thanks, friends. I'm gonna, like, have to work on all of those and a bunch of other things. That's why we're here. To hit the skill ceiling, right? There's always room for improvement. Oh man, that coffee is disgusting. Hey, my dudes. Don't smoke a cigarette. You dudes don't smoke. That's like bad for your health, right? Yeah, let's work to this novice.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, like all those parody montages and shit with a bunch of memes and whatnot, that's like really good. Okay, Condor, Suck, Firetail. That's all candidates. He's the first candidate. Come here, Britney.
Warp drive active.
What do you think he wants? Bless you, Market Tycoon. Thanks, friend. Oh. Hey, what's he doing?
Your security
Come here.
has been
What? Oh, the tracking disruptor. Unbelievable. Yes, sure, yes. Sure, yes. I was born yesterday. Hey, he's lining out, boys. Told you. Where's the suck? No suck, lol. Hey, then. We bloodied our guns a bit, but it wasn't like... whatever. Oh, the suck named Cat Girl. A hacker. Okay. Let's go rep that shit and then we'll dumpster the suck. Man, I'm approaching the beacon. Fuck it, we'll dumpster the suck like this. Oh. Did you see that? The dude was like so impressed with that he like thought that I was a hacker. Unbelievable. What's the suck doing? Lol. Drunken Giraffe Miner, what are you doing? It's good to see you in that Twitch chat. How's your Friday going? It's gonna be Saturday where you're at, right? GF. Okay, the suck doesn't want anything. Let's go rep our shit and be normal.
Warp drive active.
To be specific, the suck wants to kite. Where them Care Bears at, JB? Surely they couldn't all have permits. Yep, you're right, Lisa 8. I'm working on checking their permits. The suck didn't want to punch into our Plex, though. The Condor warped off. Oh.
Docking request accepted.
Docking request accepted. Rep. Very nice. Salute JV, hey party KKB, Miner at 07, thanks for tuning in. How are you doing? Nothing there, let's go south to Kurmanen.
Warp drive active.
Is well, these dudes. Well, let's go check out the novice. Fuck yeah. Maybe we'll get fight. Nope, not today, lol. Okay, let's go to Llama, boys. Vorpy,
Warp drive
Vorpy.
active.
Man, what's Juzuv doing? He's AFKing and shit. I see him on that, fuck's he doing? He's not even on the team speak, lol. Okay, okay. It starts in half an hour, though. Hey, there's nobody there, boys. Just go to Kamala. 30 minutes until the show. Yep, it's officially scheduled to be starting at 1800 Eve time. The shit talking in stations. Yep. It says Saturday has been 1, 2, 3. Ah, feels good, man. That's awesome. What's Mara doing? I think Mara wants to fight. What are you doing, son? Doesn't strike me as the fighting kind. The malediction traveling, yep, let's go. Finished my stream earlier, forgetting that we're an hour ahead, yeah, like the daylight savings. Yeah, does look really promising. There's everything is within scan range and empty. Let's go to Sosla.
Warp drive active.
Hey, a very important question. Chat, what should I have for lunch? Does coffee and cigarettes count for lunch? Lol, 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 no, just kidding. Get some real healthy, wholesome lunch, right? Get some like, cook some real lunch, right? But that was breakfast, fair enough, yeah, for sure. Then you must like cook some real lunch, lol. Oh, there's these dudes, nice. Nice, what are you doing? Okay, the Rifter and the Comet 3. The Caracal and the Dramiel. I hate myself. Do you think we can execute the Dramiel before the Caracal executes us? Let's do this instead. Okay.
Warp drive active.
Okay, what's he doing? They appear to be fighting each other's. The kiting comet versus the afterburning rifter. Unbelievable. Oh, fuck it, I'm going into them. Oh man, that's not gonna be pretty. Okay, on his next orbit. He's aligning out. No, he's not. He's moving back in. Come here, lol. There you go, dumbass. Hey, he's pulling range. Fair enough. Rolling DU. What the fuck do you want, lol? You're next, lol. Fuck you, lol. There's a next. He's going really fast. Shit, they're pounding me so hard. It hurts. With the EC drones. Bro, he's so thick. It's unbelievably thick. I should have killed the Rifter. I regret my life choices. Hey, there goes the heat. Oof, fuck yeah. 1, 2, 3, boys and girls, that was an awesome fight. We executed the Comet and then they executed us. 1 versus like 4, lol. Oh, that was some good shit. Fuck yeah. Fuck your Comet, lol. He fucking vaporized. Ah, yeah, boy. Feels good, man. Lol, 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 lol. I immediately regretted my decision, right? The Dramiel was like, kind of like the greed. I should have executed him and then dealt with the Dramiel, right? For sure, but that was an awesome fight. Thanks for the feedback, friends. I see a bunch of dudes writing 1, 2, 3. Here's that heart. Yeah, that was lit. Okay, let's get the next thing. What do you got here? Oh, the Retri. Nice. Fuck yeah. Why can't we find dudes like that when we are flying some cool shit like that? What's the best hit and run freak for the Warzone? Probably the... Like, if you're gonna be doing it solo, probably the Jag. If you're gonna be doing it in the Blob, probably the Jag. Okay, oh, this one. Ah, so cool. Okay, let's go. The budget alternative to Jag, the Breacher, right? The Breacher. Okay, where was that content taking place? In Sosala, but that's not that far. Let's go check it out all.
Warp drive active.
The Ibis. A new player regretting life choices, also water is wet. Maglot Shay, my nerd, is that like a... Did you change your username? Is that my good buddy Maglor? Man, I must be like... I'm losing my shit, lol. Okay, let's go down to Kurmanen. Ah, that's some... Oh, we got both of them, lol! Shit, them memes in that Twitch chat. Hey, LMAO, Maglor, you got imitators, right? Damn, son. Damn. Lol, 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 lol. Man, that's hilarious. Lol. I was so surprised, I'm sure I didn't type a thing. Yeah, like, well, me too. Okay, let's warp there and check it out. Fuck your rift there, lol.
Warp drive active.
Okay, they're all scattering. Oh, fuck your Abaddon, lol. Lol. Not today. So what, llama? So the Shittalking is about to begin, officially scheduled to start at 1800 Eve time.
Warp drive active.
We're just running this short PvP intro. But yeah, Shittalking is never done for sure. Yeah, pardon. Okay, Llama, Kamala, Sosala.
Warp drive active.
Hello, yes. We would like more of that good content. Please, yes. Where's the rest of those dudes? Man, what the fuck are they all doing? The advertised shit talking is beginning at 1800 Eve time, right? Oh, there's these dudes. What are they doing? Fuck your Loki. Okay, everything is within scan range and empty. Let's go to Sosla.
Warp drive active.
By the way, JV, nah, that's the kit. I mean, there is ASDCU retrofits, but I don't really fly them. I fly the kit one. Has 2 nanos, 2 mag stabs, and a repair. Baited on the free DCU, yep. Okay, where's that blob? Okay, the local is working. Hey, they have a caracal They're all docked and shit. Fuck your dog. Oh, never mind. Yep, we're gonna talk about all those things. There's this agenda which we have, and it's like very nice. What's eating? Oh, the Enya. You're just gonna have to pay. Fuck your curse, lol. What's he doing? Hey, let's warp there. You're just gonna have to patiently wait for it, Maglor Miner. It's all gonna be revealed as we are recording it, right? No, I don't. That's the normal. That's the non-ancillary one, right? Okay, the Vexor. He's not there. Not there. Hell is what we saw. Hey, Tarius 07 Miner. Man, it cleared out the local. Sucked out all the content from the region by undocking. Shit. Next time I undock in Ibis. Clarity with a K, Port, and Sal. Okay, let's see the Roidiest Rage. Roidiest Rage is like the large plex. It doesn't have a gate, right? It's like a dead space kind of thing. So like, don't accidentally eat shit to the reds. Oh, the Dramiel. Well, fuck. No Dramiels for us. Let's go to Anka. Secret agenda, secret day, Juzuv, Miner. I was just mentioning you. So the official start is in 15 minutes, boys. Okay, these rats webbed me into warp. How nice of them. Sao and the Dramiel. Do you think he wants to fight? Hopefully he does. He doesn't. Go check out Tankan.
Warp drive active.
Shit-talking stations including Suitonia, Sissis, lol. That acronym action, LVO. Disgusting coffee acquired, yep, we are drinking the same thing then. Shit, that's nasty. Oh, what's Maxus doing? Oh, let's see that.
Warp drive active.
JB secret agenda would be abolish the Care Bear land. Yes, for sure. Okay, the Atron, lol. Oh, bless him, lol. He's there, yes. Oh, yeah, back sucked, guys.
Warp drive active.
Is that thing fucking lagging or what? I distinctly remember clicking it. Okay, let's see the reprisal.
Warp drive active.
The Prophecy and the Dragoon. Both which are shit for us to be fighting. The shit doesn't even begin to describe it. They gave up. Fine. So check out Haras.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, for sure. The nullsec has the highest payout for care bearing and at the same time the highest safety. It's simply not logical. The highest care bearing income would hopefully mean the biggest risk of getting killed, right? Oh, Varcelus Malus, like from Pulp Fiction, Alien. Okay, let's go check out this Shades of Grey.
Warp drive active.
Oh, yes, yes. The Prot. Fuck your Prot. Then after him, the Tengu. It's Prot killing time, boys.
Warp drive active.
Man, that's gonna be a hard thing to kill. The rats are gonna have to help us. He's 100 kilometers off. He's out. There's the Tengu. Yeah, let's go sit on the other Shades of the Grey. Maybe the Tengu will just give up. Oh. Hey Sabuhan, 0707. Hey Kaiser Freely, 07 dear comrade. How are you doing, friends? Man, I hope you're having a nice Friday. Thanks for tuning in. The Neg. The Vexor. We are dealing with these things here, boys. I was secretly hoping the... Yes. Yes. I hear there's a spot for CCP Chimapi. Lol. All Linerats. If anyone ever comes here to Croatia, I'm inviting you for a barbecue and I'll make you Chimapi, right? For sure. Okay, someone popped it. Oh, yes, buddy. Gate sliding is bugged out, thus we can actually cock him.
Your security status.
Okay then. He's eating shit. Okay, he's targeting me. Drones are out. I have to start moving soon. Wasp drones. I think we're good against those. Those are not really fast drones, boys. That's like really fat drones. And you're gonna go in a circle around the goddamn drone shit. Hey, the Vexor's eating shit. Bless his soul. Man, that's some slow drones. Yep, almost like a pro. Dodgy Bob, thanks, friend. Hey, he's hitting structure. Wait, what? Oh, he's anchoring a depot. It's gonna try to refit. There's no combat refitting. God damn it. What do you think our buddy is doing? Hey, roller, my nerd. Combat refitting is not a thing. Hey, structure. Come on now. Dumping the officer loot. Yes. That's all. Okay, fuck it, I'm gonna go do the tracking. I don't care about the goddamn drones. Taking alpha my shit. Jeff. Okay, he didn't put any loot in that thing, it was down to a second. Oof. 1, 2, 3 in that Twitch chat, boys. We are shooting the pod first. Okay, let's see the officer loot. Stabs, head stabs. Wanted to combat refit, right? 1, 2, 3, boys and girls. Oh, fuck yeah. I'm not gonna... eyes on these can. Yes, sure, yes. Oh, minor. Thanks for the feedback. 1, 2, 3, friends. Here's that heart symbol. So to get dank frags like that, all you need to do is be telepathic like I am, right? Waiting out our dumb timer, and then we're like, what the fuck's that, lol? I don't have heat to fight him. BRB, lol.
Drive active.
1, 2, 3, lol. Even Helvera minor. He didn't have permit to be carbering like that. Okay, we are landed. Let's kit just in case the dude wants to be cute. Okay, we're good.
Request accepted.
T minus 7 minutes until the shove starts, right? Let's rep that and then see the confessor and then see the prot. I don't think we can really fight the confessor because he's gonna have like better HP and damage and tracking than we have. Like, our prot was running, our prot's cloaked. Okay, we're gonna have to do a trick for the prot, right? Okay, watch this, I'm so pro.
Active.
And range, for sure, yes. Feed! We're gonna feed into the prot killing. Need a dank police skin for the retribution, yep, that'll be lit. That is empty pod. What are they saying, lol? Oh, invite to... He's already there, right? Yep. GG. Okay, crash the gate and go kill the prot. Evlog, do you legit sometimes leave your ship and undock, redock in a capsule because it's the only way to get rid of the generated heat? Yes, I do. You can like, Tech 3 cruisers, you can repackage them. That's like the heat track status glitches itself out. I'm not certain if that's a visual bug or not, but very well could be.
Drive active.
Man, if I land on a confessor, I'm gonna tilt. If I land on that thing, I'm gonna like lose my goddamn mind. Oh, we are slowly getting into that TeamSpeak. Okay, I'm gonna go dock there. Okay, he's scaring off the prot. Fuck.
Warp drive active.
Okay, let's see this. Hear this. Oh, hey, Suitonia, what are you doing, my nerd? 50 Shades of Grey. Because there's so many farmers, there's... lol. Yeah, real. Yo, my nerds.
Docking request accepted.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Nice, fuck yeah. Nice, fuck yeah, are we ready in like 5 minutes or what?
3 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
You get some yogurt, dude. Yogurt's the way to go when you're on a podcast.
Oh.
Start eating yogurt ahead of time. By the middle of the podcast, you'll feel better about yourself.
No.
Is that so if you like spill it, then you look like you've done something else if you're on webcam?
But you just like slowly spill it all over your bare chest.
That's one way to get ad revenue.
No, Mayo, no yogurt eating for us.
Get a drink if you need one, and after that we're starting.
Oh man. Fuck yeah. Happening status equals it. Invite all your buddies and family and friends and loved ones and court mates and alliance mates to join in on the coolness. We're about to start this installment of the Shittalking stations, and we have so many topics to go through. It's unbelievable. And we rattling so many bone boxes you dudes won't even believe. Gotta get ready. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette, friends. You dudes shouldn't smoke. That's bad for your health. Fair warning. Don't ever do it. JB is 1/3 of the volume of the team speak.
I get unmuted.
Okay, let's try to fix that. I'll increase my mic volume a bit and decrease the TeamSpeak volume a bit.
I will start recording.
Okay, how's that sound? That should be more balanced. It looks like it's equal in the OBS.
Yeah, whoever like has the capacity or feels like it, do a spare recording just in case of something. Thanks.
We're recording it live, right? It's on Twitch.
Yeah, but
Yeah, we're on his Twitch.
but for the podcast later.
Yeah, but you can get the audio off of Jebby's stream and turn it into an MP3 file.
Marie!
That's how I do
Yep.
all my sound bites.
I can do that.
The more recordings, the better.
Lol. He's kind of loud. They don't have equalized
Jimmy
mix.
has like some stuff enabled on his stream too. Like if someone donates to him or something, it might like mess up the audio.
Yeah, you're completely right. It does. He does.
Somebody reports you for... If you say some copyrighted word and they like fucking mute your vote.
Copyrighted
Okay.
words? Are those a thing?
Yeah, my name for one.
Swoosh!
I own the word fat, so.
Oh, hey, Frank. Okay,
I
boys.
just
Like-
own the word skinny then.
Like,
Oh,
own it. Own it.
Just for you, no, not Jibby. JJ, I've got a hat on just for you. I'm not gonna keep it on the entire stream, so if you want to see, I would look right now, at my stream.
I don't think Ward is ready for this, but I guess everyone else is ready for it. Are we all ready? Everyone here?
Yep, let's do it.
Hat's coming on.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Frank?
What's up?
Ready?
I mean, yeah, like, let's go.
Suitonia?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so let's start the 4th episode of Shit Talking in Stations. That makes it a new pope. Hope, same thing. And we have extra guests this time. Basically the usual crowd of people that have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. And one guy that pretends that he knows what he's talking about. But anyway, we have a fresh new agenda. A big mother of all balance patches has landed. It broke everything, but at last it landed. And many things like briskly got out of hand meanwhile, and many things were revealed. So let's start with the point one, and that is obviously the fucking balance patch, because we were talking about it before, and Now we finally have it. We have the balance. We wanted the balance and now we have it. It's absolute. Like, it's perfectly balanced. It doesn't matter that, like, half threads were broken for 3 days, and it doesn't matter that chat shut itself again. Chat was, patch was deployed successfully. Yes. Okay, let's start with, well, the biggest thing was the NSA changes, I guess. So let's open Zkill and see how the carriers are completely ruined and how all nexus died that they didn't.
We deleted supers.
Well, dudes run subbing and making rage posts on that forums and everywhere. It's glorious because apparently without the NSA it's literally impossible to be care-bearing, right? They were like all adjusting by fitting to sentient sensor boosters and stuff like that, but in combination with the drone application nerfs or fighters, you know, it was so good.
The ticks were like, but yeah, okay. So far, it doesn't seem like the NSA changes led to the. I mean, there wasn't any Nexageddon. We didn't probably expect it, but lots of people were saying that there will be. So, what's the problem? Was the changes actually not that much of change, or did people actually remember that CBOS exists, or are all the nexus hidden now in sticks or something? So, what's your take on the big balance patch?
Sinos still exist.
Yeah.
Well,
If you can't walk with the NSA on, chances are you're using it in one of the big blocks. You light a Sino, you get friends coming straight away. It just makes it a bit riskier for the smaller groups or the unprepared.
The other thing too is, I mean, it literally didn't change. We're on track right now for April to kill the same amount of Thannies and the same amount of literally any other carrier as we would in any other given month before this, other than like months when there were big fights between capitals. So like, I don't think it's gonna change anything. I don't think we're gonna see anything crazy happen out of it, because just like what Monkey just said, Sinos still exist.
I think it has had a positive impact on the economy, at least, though. I mean, you can only really don't have like super solid figures right now, because I think the MER that they just released only had like the last
That's
day.
for March. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just got the anom nerfs in it. But if you look at like the NPC kills, like 24 hours in places like Delve and Esoteria, you can see that the number of NPCs killed has gone down by about 10%, it seems. So I think a lot of crabs are deciding not to risk their carrier, or they're swapping into sensor boosters which aren't as efficient at ratting.
Yeah, so
I'm surprised.
like the numbers on the SIBOs, like one, it's funny that sentient SIBOs went up from like 30 mil to like 100 and something mil. But also, like, there's no amount of SIBOs that make up for the scan res of an NSA. Like, you can pull a full rack of SIBOs, and it's still not as insta-lock as the NSA.
Yeah, I mean, the NSA is like broken as fuck. Like, it gives you something like, I think it's like 600% bonus, right? Which is like 7 times like normal
Yeah,
scan
it's
res.
insane. For that and gate camping and every kind of activity like that, it like also affects like dudes sitting in supers outside of like novice plexes and shit like that, right? That's very nice.
Yeah, and it turns an Nidhogger into a Thrasher.
Yeah, I think that was the point we brought up several times before. I don't think that the ability to warp or jump with the NSA was what really irked people. It was the massive. Basically, it has equivalent of what, 6 SIBOs plus the.
I mean, it's better than 7 Cormac SIBOs.
Yeah, and the target combined with the targeting range of carrier. I mean, the ability to warp off was not really what was the problem with NSA, but I mean, it's a step, it's a step.
Well, yeah, you're like 3K away, man. You'll cross that. You'll cross, 3,000K in a couple seconds with an NT, guys. We all know that's how that works, right? Like carrier's got its fighters on you. There's no worries.
It's a step in the right direction for sure, because they're gonna, like, the next thing they need to do is like make sinos delayed based on mass or signature of the ship, and add like some kind of delay in local based on same signature or mass of ship, and then we can like have a healthy PvP game, right? I mean, it's a good thing that they can't war, but the Care Bears were ready for it. They bought out all the sensor boosters and shit, and they were like adjusted for it from day zero, right?
This just in, Care Bear Collective readjusts to upcoming patch changes. Major conspiracy. Actually, what you mentioned is kind of interesting, and I think that CCP in general is going to be really careful with stuff with sinos, hopefully, because that's where their big fights come out of, and however they do it. So like, if you do add a delay for when the ship comes in, you still need people to like hard, when they click jump through sino button, it's still got to be a decision that they have to make, or else there won't be as many big fights, because you'll have like 30 seconds and they'll be like, never mind, I'm dead, and it'll be like, all right, never mind, not going through the sino, or something weird like that. I'm curious to see if they do make changes to sinos and they make like a delay, how they'd end up doing that or something.
Yeah, it's really hard to balance. There's like 3 different aspects of sinos that you kind of want to keep, right? You want to keep you don't want to interfere with big fights from happening and big capital fights. You also don't want to interfere with like solo hunting stuff, like, like hunting other supers in a Proteus or something. You also don't want to fuck with like jump freighters. So it's hard to like you want to keep those 3 things, but also like nerf sinos for use in defense, like when a carrier's using it to save itself from like from a small gang, or using it like aggressively to like camp frigates and stuff.
Yeah, I have no problem with a covert sino being the way it is. I mean,
yeah, I think covert sinos are in a really healthy place too, Frank. I agree. I think that they don't need any changing. It's the ones that, every capital and all of Delve, when they get dropped on me, those sinos that I get worried about.
The
yeah,
thing
I
is,
like
though, that
Jebby's like based on the mass, and even
Or signature, either is fine, right? The
Yeah.
signature is legit.
I mean, like I would even
Mass would be better
fine.
for the Hectors, pardon Frank, because of the low slot.
Yeah, and I'm actually even fine with like if we do a cap versus sub cap to start with, like taking baby steps, jumping in.
Fuck yeah! I'm sick of fucking maledictions warping at 1,000 kilometers off and teleporting in 27 fucking hells, right? Like, what the fuck, lol? How's that a thing? The same dudes sit outside novice plexes with their aim jags and shit, right?
I mean, in the future, we have the teleporters.
I wonder what the implications of doing something with like when you have an NSA on, or when you're in like siege or something.
Yo, don't ever
Can
smoke,
you even light a
friends.
sino
That's bad for
currently
your
when
health.
those are up?
Yeah.
And the effects of like having it to where, specifically in this one instance, when you have this God Power mode supposedly module activated, that you can no longer light a sino. What the changes in like player demo, like the way behavior would be. That's an interesting thought.
wouldn't change anything. It would just mean the carrier has to tank for 60 seconds, which is pretty easy on a carrier, to be honest. It takes
Yeah,
quite a
well,
bit
I
to
mean-
get a carrier in under a minute.
Yeah, well, yeah, you'd have to be hunting with a rather large group, and even then, like,
Another super or so.
yeah, even when you see the instances of people like dropping on guys in Delve, rarely do they ever get all their dreads out, or any of them out, because they're still dreads. They're easy to scan down, even for goons.
You
I think
guys
no matter what
get
they
tackled
do-
with Delve a lot.
I haven't been playing, so I have not gotten tackled in Delve anywhere recently. But
I mean, like, that's problem of the region supporting that many people. That we will get to that later. Okay, but let's try to get Suitonia banned or not. Was there actually proposal for some other changes on the CSM, or was this like the best we can hope for?
I mean, if you look at the CSM minutes, you can see almost everything that we brought up. You know, we talked about long range Titan guns too. Also talked about sirens, as I think they're probably like the #1 issue for capitals at the moment.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
a
they
siren
need to
can go
be-
10,000 meters a second.
They need to be majorly buffed. Sirens need to go 15k a second and have perfect inertia. That way, as soon as they reach their target, they can just stop in orbit.
Isn't that what they do currently?
No, they'll do another 5k extra speed just in case you fit like a I don't know 50 into some frigate and they just so happen to not be able to catch you.
Yeah, like reading those CSM minutes looked like they were like a decent sections of that were missing, and that would probably be the upcoming patches for, let's say, August or December or whatever, right? We can't really ask about such things, but like we can make
I
educated
mean,
guesses.
it's on the CC Please page somewhere on the script date.
Are you
in future.
accusing CCP of redacting? Releasing redacted documents?
Documents.
Lol. I mean, it's all like it will probably have a profound influence on the game if we were to know things which we shouldn't know, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, we might get banned.
I mean, do you want to buy my Cebos?
Bruh, it's a miracle JB isn't banned yet, lol. Hey, Nano.
But, okay, that was one of the changes. Well, I think that we can agree that the NSA change was a nice step, except it wasn't in the direction we hoped it would be. But the next change was the change. The
Hey,
high
Fenraula
angle
07.
rework. Now Titans deal 50% less damage with high angles.
Yep, that's
Good,
like
man.
fine. I mean, the real problem would be the long range weapons on the Titans. The high angle weapons were just like a meme, right? The high angle weapons being retained on the Dreads is a good thing, and at the same time, not being on the Titans is also a good thing, right?
And by the magical workings of CCP, not only were the high angle weapons broken on Dreads, because
Hey,
of
07, Triton X,
both
07.
being 2% instead of ×2. I mean, someone said just put 2 in this spot and someone did. Who the fuck cares if it's percent or multiplier? Like, what's that? No, who cares?
For the historical record, we reported that bug on the Singularity test server 2 weeks before it was deployed on
Yeah, several
Tranquility.
times even.
Okay, so I don't actually know what the hot bug is.
It's fixed mostly now, except that it seems that now the multiplier actually counts as a multiplier for damage. So you get stacking penalty with siege module. Okay. Well, I mean, at last you get almost the same DPS you got before the patch.
But it wasn't like it was broken before. You were getting much less.
Before you were getting like cruiser levels of DPS.
I think I have a question in regards to this. Just everybody's opinion. I kind of want to gauge real quick. Would you rather
Hey,
see
Erfwan.
CCP make more realistic goals for when they're going to release these patches and do it right, hopefully the first time, or see them make these kind of quick changes and like have to hotfix stuff?
So they will do the hotfix one. They'll take their time with it, because if they change something stupidly overpowered and then nerf it to the shit, they're not going to want to do that. So they're going to take their time to do it, and probably do it in a phase of patches like they are now, so that they don't overly break one mechanic or shit.
Well, that's my point. Would you rather have seen the April patch pushed back so they had more time to make sure that they don't have bugs, right? So
I'm happy with how it is because at the end of the day, we're still getting an update and a change to what we've been asking for years.
Okay,
Yeah, like that was the first PvP patch after 700 million years. Fuck yeah, the carrier pilots can eat shit, the Rorcal pilots can eat shit, and like the disgusting blobs stacking their faxes can all eat shit, right? That's all good things.
And I told everyone they were gonna nerf
Hey,
the rooks,
no,
and nobody
Atlantis.
listened to me.
The
Nobody
Prophet.
listened to the prophet, man.
I mean, we knew they were going to nerf rocks the day they buffed them to insanity. Like, it's just what happens. The people not listening to that are those who are like wishful thinking.
Anyways, I'm sorry to have interrupted. I mean, and then the other cool thing that came out of this patch was the Corax now has 53 power grid. So, I mean, let's be honest.
The 400mm plate Coraxes. Yo, Juzuv, there's a bunch of dudes requesting that Noah Valentis joins the recording thing.
It was requested last week as well, or last podcast, whenever that was.
Well, he can just like connect to the TeamSpeak.
Yep. Fuck yeah, okay.
No, Nova's a good person.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
If you're recommending him, he's probably shit lord.
Lol. Unexpected me IRL.
A vote of confidence from Frank and Jebby is probably more detrimental to him.
Probably worrying, yeah.
I actually disavow Novo. I don't think we should have him on. That should mean that we should have him on, right? By the logic we're using.
No.
What?
Wait, so which way? Does me giving a positive review act in a way that's negative, or me giving a negative review act in a way that's positive?
Anyway,
I think either way means you have an impact there. I think that's the wrong assumption.
yeah. Anyway, here recommending someone is like that's the worst visit card you can get. Anyway, okay, I guess that's anyone has anything else to praise or criticize about the new balance?
We went into those in great detail, man. Like, they like the Feroxes. The Feroxes nerfs are like meaningless. The Harbinger buffs are like also kind of like meaningless and shit, right? Dudes are gonna still run the same Feroxes for the same reason. They're like double ranged bonus battle cruisers and shit. Come on now. Maybe you can like tickle your opponents with your beam harbs now. Maybe, right?
Oh
like,
yeah.
Then like what the Corax got +5 power grid. You can make a 400mm plate dual web scram afterburner rocket Corax, which has 270 DPS and 7000 EHP. Eats shit to a comet, right? So that's not a thing, right? Caracal Navy got 5 drones. Apparently that's now a doctrine ship. Like, for fuck's sake, dudes are like gonna have issues anchoring on each other's and assisting drones on each other's, right? Those kind, and that's it. The best thing would be the drones and the Rorcal's nerfs. GG.
The one thing I want to know is how much of a change did the sig radius on the fighters actually, like, how much difference did it make, if any? I've not been able to get in game for a while, so I've not been able to
From
test
the
it.
guys that I've heard that like fly ratting carriers every day, and they've switched out their NSAs and stuff. They said it hasn't made any. Yeah, I know. He. Well, I mean, they get people coming through their system. They don't exactly live in a safe area. They said they haven't seen any changes. So
That's what I was worried about.
So, Jebby missed a very important patch note: 10% bonus to beams.
Oh yes, for sure. it's lit, fam. It's gonna be like have a fat barbecue there from those 10%. Oh, that's so good.
now I just
imagine medium beam Abaddons.
No, please no. That's why Abaddons are so shit. Dudes run artillery Abaddons, right?
What if we change the Abaddon to, instead of large energy damage, it's just any energy damage turret?
Oh, how about we give it some capacitor?
But he caps himself out first and dies last, no matter what, right? That's that kind of life.
Yeah, I don't. That's the. I didn't. Suitonia is probably a better person for this, but I wanted to know the application, how the application change for the fighters actually Like I saw the numbers, but I don't know how the numbers translate to actual effectiveness of application in game.
Well, I mean, to give you a ballpark, and like because it's the missile formula, it's not entirely accurate. But if you were not applying to something before the patch, you're doing
Don't
about
smoke.
30% less DPS to it after the patch.
That's bad for your health. Don't smoke ever.
Okay, so you're still in the alpha.
Yeah, pretty much. When it comes to like supers versus cruisers and stuff, they're still applying a lot of DPS to them.
It's a step in the right direction, though. I would much rather they did it gradually than completely remove.
Don't
supers from the
smoke.
game.
That's bad for your health.
I'm probably the only one here who'll think that.
I mean, they can remove supers and.
But put it this way: between us lot here, we are probably like the minority who actually don't give a crap about supers. But in like the actual landscape of the game, supers play an important part of Nosec. Most major fights that take place will have supers involved just because of how effective they are.
I will have you know that I own a super. Okay,
So
I
do
have
I.
undocked it
Still for
twice.
now.
I have undocked it twice,
Remember,
so
Fleur,
I'm
isn't it?
pretty much the most elite super
I-
pilot.
I'd rather they just delete they just turn like the sirens into a damp drone and the drommies into a TP drone. And
Oh,
then-
dude, damn
Yes,
drones,
please.
yes.
But
That would be
for
better.
that
I
to work,
can't. There's like, it's just like 30 Thanatuses with just a bunch of damn drones out. It's the new meta. I'm ready.
but for that to work, they would first have to like fucking fix the, Ivor on drones. I mean, how many? You need 5 heavy dampening drones to get the effect of meta dump or T2 dump. I don't know, and I think that the gem fighters, I forgot how they're even called. I haven't
Midnight
used them
Lolo.
forever. Are still worse than using single flight of ECM 300s. I mean, the problem with sirens is that they're fast. Honestly, if they were just pointing you, I wouldn't have problem. If they weren't so fucking fast, on top of it.
I think if we're gonna talk about E-War drones, we should probably consult the hero of Cheetah, Frank the Bank, in the channel right now.
I have waged 2 wars on EC300s. I have proved unsuccessful.
Thank you for supporting my market.
Bless
I
Frank.
dropped
Well,
like 5
he's so good.
mil into buying EC300s in all of the Forge, and they still came back.
Well,
He
they
was
cost
buying-
like 4,000 ISK to make or something like ridiculously tiny.
So when I first raged war, we found out they cost 3,000 ISK, and they were selling for 3,250, and I bought all of them in the Forge, in Amar and Dodixie and Rennes, in whatever region Tama's in, like all of those regions, we bought all of the EC300s. And it lasted like 1 full day. That people were buying them for like 5 mil.
If you bought out all the dampening drones instead, it would have lasted weeks.
I just want damp sirens now. That's all I want. I just want to see like 30 Thanatuses, each with 1 damp fighter, just dampening stuff down and killing it. Oh, it would be beautiful. No one would see it coming.
I'm not quite sure how targeting works on fighters. I guess Suitonia would have better idea, but I'm not sure if you can actually affect their own targeting range without affecting the carrier.
I mean, they'd obviously be trash, but it's just basically deleting sirens from the game, but a nicer way of doing it.
I mean, Ivor fighters have been garbage before.
Don't talk to me about them.
Yeah, they've been garbage before, and now, well, they're still basically garbage except for sirens. Well, dromies, maybe.
Well, Scarab drones are lit low. I mean, kind of.
I had a Chimera at Carrier 5, E-War and Fighters and all that 5, and I used Scarabs on my ult for an hour trying to permajam it, and it landed one fucking jam
Oh, what the
on
fuck,
a
lol.
non-seboed cruiser.
Oh man, that's
a P&I.
hardcore, lol. I take back then.
Just take EC300s and make them in the Scarabs, and we're good.
That was on a live server, by the way. I did it on TQ in KA6.
That's super scary because like EC300s are the cancer. Like those scarabs should be proportional to them, and at the same time, like pointing drones are like that's conceptually not good. If you wanna point a thing, you have to be there. Either deploy a bubble or connect a point or tackle him, right? Having like pointing drones is like weak, like in
There's literally
principle.
no counter to the drones.
Yeah, I mean they go like 10k a second on a hill, right, with like no modules, and then they also have something like 50k EHP, so like they have the same tank as like a really fat cruiser.
And you have to kill them how many? 3 times over? Yeah.
Using the same logic, we got lurching Hectors nerfed, right? It doesn't stand to reason that like the drone should be like that. That's like horribly bad. Someone's detached from reality.
Lurching Hectors were nerfed, but they were also buffed because now they can permanently go like 5k. Like
Delicious.
They lost the agility, but they gained like sustained speed, which
Oh, that's
just-
fine.
Yeah, I mean, 5k is like, that's normal for cruiser if, like, it's fast for cruiser, but within reason.
now I want to see a snake.
Snake dick. We're gonna make it happen, Frank.
9K?
Are you ready?
Fucking overdrop, fucking or overclocker, fucking 5 or 4, whatever.
Quaif, can't forget the Quaif,
and
dude.
snakes.
Coffee.
I'm ready for
It's
it.
coffee because it's like coffee.
Either way,
Yeah.
either way, let's talk
Alright,
about the
Juzuv.
sub
I think it's time to move
subgroup
on, JJ.
changes. No, actually, that's right. We have omitted one more thing. Let's question how changing a single fucking message that drones are supposed to send breaks docking in a fucking citadels.
Oh my dude, his Reddit post was priceless. Like he responded from a honest, helpful place, but like accidentally admitted the horrible thing, right? That was hilarious. We're posting that thing over and over again. What's that dude's name?
CCP Wonderboy, I think.
Yeah, CCP Wonderboy. Yeah, like fuck yeah, oh, that was so good, lol.
I mean, welcome to like stackless Python that's like 19 years old with like 10,000 dependencies.
Fuck yeah,
And
yeah.
it's dead. Don't forget that stackless Python is for matters practical fucking dead. I don't think there's anything else but if using it at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be nice if, like, CCP used, yeah, like Sega had the Sega intro.
Yeah. No, please don't.
No. Well, if you launch if and it goes stackless.
Lol, 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 lol,
Please
lol,
don't.
lol,
No,
lol, lol.
we're done, JJ. I'm cutting it out.
Yeah. I guess we've talked
Stackless.
about this patch enough, and still, I mean, it's been a relatively short time since it dropped. We still haven't seen the true depths of the horror that changing single line in somewhere in code might bring along. So we will move on and
I was like, we have 9 topics to get through.
yeah, so we will get to top point 2. But first, let us say that Suitonia is absolutely in no collusion here. And that he did not have sex with that woman, or any woman for the matter.
I'm so sorry, Suitonia. I really am.
But it's true. And
Also did not shake hands with that man, Johnny UK.
yes, and
Leave
we
Johnny
can-
alone, man. He's cool.
I love Johnny.
He is, but it's you.
So let's move to the point 2. Brisk getting crapped out of the CSM.
Oof.
So,
Before any super duper wild speculation or anything, I just want to make a statement that I think no matter what, losing a longtime member of the CSM who's built that working relationship with CCP is still really sad to see, because
Agreed.
it's somebody who knows how to. We had a discussion. I don't know if it was in here or if it was on TIS or somewhere else, where we were talking about how much time it takes. I think CCP said like at least a year to get a CSM member like up to stuff with the rest of the CSM members, just to train them how to be a CSM member and what their roles are and their responsibilities, and it's sad to see. I think no matter what, it's still saddening to see.
Man, that disgusting Care Bear stole TikTok's righteous slot. TikTok would be working on making the game better for everyone, and like that dude was like working on pushing the Goonie Goon agenda, right? So it's kind of like a double fucking loss there.
I mean, at one point, the current CSM run is basically, it's coming to an end, right? When, like, 2 months or so? Yeah, but it's basically over. The meetings have been done. So, on one hand, it doesn't really change much. On the other hand, I'm not sure how thrilled CCP themselves are for the idea of CSM, and now with the PA acquisition, okay, let's go full tinfoil. With PA acquisition now, if there is some, like, basically pushes and presses for, like, dissolving CSM, this might be good ammo for those voices. I don't know how it is, like, someone else can tell us. No collusion. But yeah, I'm okay. I will let you speculate now.
I think so this is super tinfoil hat. This is the most tinfoil hat. I think what actually, honest to God, happened was CCP was chilling out, and they're like, we're doing a good thing, and they realized the community was starting to like enjoy the game and like looking forward to patch notes and all this stuff, and they're like, things are going too well. And then CCP was just like, execute order, brisky brisk. And so now we're in the situation we're in now, where everybody doesn't want it to be true. Nobody's looking forward to any dev blogs. This is just the current situation. TLDR, things going too well. CCP needs to get back to its state of normalcy. They must restore balance in the force.
I mean, that's not tinfoil.
Alright, okay then.
Don't smoke, my nerds. That's bad for your health. Fair
I can't
warning.
really say anything on the CSM. I've not really looked at what they've been doing this time. I've been way too busy moving house.
Basically, it's a Class B shitstorm, monkey. The dude got kicked from CSM and then claims innocence, and we are waiting if the CSP will respond with presenting their evidence or whatnot, and at which point it becomes a Class A shitstorm, right? It was a decent drama.
Yeah.
Nothing abnormal then.
So here's a Twitch viewer conspiracy theory that I want to go with. CCP was fine with Brisk, but Goons wanted him removed. So
Oh.
I've heard
Goons
that.
flipped.
Oh.
Oh.
Ooh.
This is some 80s spy movies plot.
Are we on a list now? I feel like we're on a list. I don't want to be on a list. I'm sorry, Frank.
You were on the list the moment you started playing Keeps. Too late.
Too late. CCP is like, we have him now. He'll never get away. New X-File theme music.
But okay, let's speculate even more wildly. Brisk is denying that he colluded. He said that he didn't have sex with that woman either. So, was this the tinfoil hat theory of fucking assassination, or did he just go the normal things actual politicians sometimes do by taking pictures of everything and posting them to Twitter at that same fucking moment. Because there was that note at the end of the update that next CSM will be instructed about use of electronic devices.
Well, I don't think Brisk brought in his phone. I think what happened is they got into the CSM meeting and they were all standing around the table, like working real hard. And then about halfway through, Jintan realized that Brisk had out his fax machine and was sending faxes. And someone was like, hey, I don't think that's okay. And that's what happened.
Sounds plausible. Yep.
I mean, so the thing is, right? There's always like four sides of the story. You know, there's gonna be Brisk side, CCP side, the truth, and the narrative.
Fox News.
And, yeah, and the narrative. So, you know, I don't know. Like, it'll be interesting if it. I mean, speculation. If the bans and suspensions get reversed, like what then? Like, I mean, that's.
I think that's the everything.
Brisk, right? I feel kind of betrayed that I had to, like, you know, jump through all these hoops to prove to you guys that I didn't leak stuff. So I'm just gonna leak stuff. You know, I don't know.
If the speculations are correct, Brisk got banned because of Korax. So I mean, that would be the ultimate buffs to Korax.
He's like, yo, dude, check this out, Matani, dude. Corex is getting 5 more power grid. And he was like, fuck yeah, buy all the Corexes. Is that what happened?
Yeah, and I mean, okay.
I mean,
I think
there was a bunch of shady shit going on with those markets, like when they announced that Tech 2 ammo is gonna be loadable in meta and officer high slots, such as Velas high slots for Kikis. All those things were bought out like a day before. It's impossible that like dudes were telepathic for trillions of ISK, right? Someone was leaking 100%. That's just one example. The most recent one being. So yeah, like Suitonia needs to tell us like what happened. He would like be able to give us the most insight within the.
But I don't think he wants to work.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna comment at all here.
Okay, fair enough. When does your NDA expire?
It's in the NDA. He can't talk about the NDA, dude.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry, pardon. Like, I'm stupid. Don't mind me, lol.
No,
like,
no, you want to get him banned. We thought.
I don't. Yes, sorry.
We all know what's
I don't
gonna
even know
happen.
what that means. Lol.
Next year's CSM, they're just not gonna allow in fax machines, and we won't have this problem anymore.
I mean, that's true. Okay, let's speculate if this will actually affect the next CSM in some way, aside from them probably not being allowed to bring pigeons with them. Because postal pigeon is pretty electronic too.
I don't know.
Dude,
like,
fucking
it'll be
good
interesting to see
point.
How
He walked in with a cage full
CSM
of
14
pigeons.
changes.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I mean, it'll just be if there's any changes made for CSM 14, or if they just decide, fuck it, we're just gonna axe the CSM in general, or I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be.
It's
It'll
becoming
be interesting to see in what when does CSM 14 start? In like 3 months or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be an announcement about the CSM pretty soon with all the dates.
Okay, you can at last tell us if you're running again.
I'm not running again.
Now, all the fucking Castrol pilots are set.
Tony, I don't know what we're gonna do without you, man. I wish you.
He's like,
But
I'm tired of this shit.
I'm getting fucking. He's
Getting too old for this shit.
But
Yeah, for real, our good buddy Suitonia was working on making the game better for everyone. And he's a good
Yeah.
dude for sure. It's gonna be like a decent loss of him, and he's gonna be missing on the next CSM because like it's gonna be the goons CSM, right? Like
I mean,
previous.
it's hard to tell like who's going to be on the CSM next year because there's a lot of votes that you don't really know where they're going to go. Because there are 3 people who are not running again, I think. Well, I'm not running again. Jintan's not running again, and now Brisk probably isn't running again. And a lot of I didn't mean that in,
Probably.
like, an awful way.
I know that was still good though, man.
Anyway, I'm saying this like me, Jin, and Brisk, like with the exception of Steve Ronican, we probably represent a lot of the like non-coalition votes. Like I have like a lot of people who vote for me are sort of like independent people or people who are interested in PvP. I mean, Jintan has a lot of like old Providence friends, and he did get a lot of legacy votes when Creature got 07th last time. But he still has like a really strong like core, I'd say, of like 1,000 votes of people who vote for him because of his like really good communication skills in like CSM 11 and 12. And Brisk as well, like he was like a very popular guy on Reddit and on the forums, and he was like the Donald Trump of the CSM in terms of like he just got like a bunch of like populist votes, and he had the meme vote, right? If you know what I mean. Like Zenura was the meme vote like 2 years
Right.
before.
But when you say that he was like a Trump, did he ever say on the meeting,
Big
wrong?
So hopefully, like we have like TikTok run again.
Hello, technically, well, he's not non-blog, but technically he's non-blog because cocaine does things.
Yeah, I mean, I guess technically TikTok isn't non-block, but I think, I mean, Jebby is tagged right in PL still. I think.
No, Jebby's gonna run, yeah.
No, I'm not. Please, no. Man, there's
No,
print
no.
screens of me saying to dudes eat shit and die. I can never go for CSM. Lol, come on now.
I'd vote for that.
No. So
I vote for you, Jebby.
like Jebby, example, if
Oh.
Jebby ran, like Jebby's technically in Hydra, but everyone knows him. He's gonna run as as a solo platform, right? Like he would. That's what I would imagine. If Jebby ran, like he'd be like, yeah, I'm in Hydra, but like, lol, solo. Which is what I imagine TikTok doing. I hope the wormholers gather together and don't split the votes between like 3 people again, because like that's what happened the last 2 years that I watched. They have like
Yeah. Lol.
fucking
Fine.
3 people, and they're like, all right, vote for one of these 3. Like that's not how it works.
I mean, well, you can always just vote for Steve because, like, Steve is always there. At this point, CCP might as well just fucking employ him. But I don't think he deserves it.
Ma Steve covers all the Care Bears, right? He's got literally, like, the Care Bears get 1 out of 10 seats on the CSM, the Goons get, like, 8, and the 1 slot goes to normals, right? So, I mean, that's, like, overrepresented Care Bears compared to other things which needs representation.
Oh, we will see when the people start announcing who's running. But let's get a move on. But before that, the last part of this. Since along with Brisk, Pando and Shines, I think, were banned too, we will fucking run the Stukas now.
LOL. Like, they're gonna need to find another Care Bear to anchor on.
I mean, the Init will never be the same without the anchors.
So,
Well, I think they will manage. Maybe they will even start fitting cloaks on their bombers. I mean, let's not get crazy, but it's possible. Anyone else?
Anchor on thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, it's a great loss when the game loses skilled, good FCs, right? That being said, if the dudes are doing shady shit, good riddance, Lemeo.
Pretty much. Anyone else got anything?
Oh, that's about it.
And I would like to finish this by saying that there was no collusion this time. And let's move on to the point 3. CCP announced Triglavian T2. Aside from the one T2 that we already have, but nobody cares about that one. But we are gonna get S-Freak. We're gonna get a Heavy Assault. We're gonna get a Commandancy. And most importantly, Damavik will still be shit. But let's speculate. What do you expect from Triglavian T2s? What do you expect out of Triglavians in general? When do you expect the Triglavian capitals? And when do you expect the Triglavian keepstars with warp drives? Go.
And cloaks.
The command Desi I expect to have like Damavix levels of damage, just because none of the command Desis really have like high levels of deeps, but they do have incredible tanks, or they can have incredible tanks and incredible speed. So I don't know what a Trig command Desi will bring that's different than, you know, one of the existing 4.
More DPS.
If he's gonna have 4 min slots, he's gonna run the dual skirmish, links, shield fit 10 km per second going 500 DPS, 20,000 EHP thing. I'll never fly another ship ever again if that's a thing, right? So that's what we're expecting, a super strong destroyer who makes like Bifrosters look like they're like paper, right? He just pulls up the Void Ray, self-linking with the 2 skirmish, it's gonna be...
Yeah, but stop. I don't think this levels of erection can be healthy.
Yeah, it's a question, can he fit defenders as every other command destroyer? That'll also be lit, right? That means if can, then dudes are gonna use them as doctrine anti-tacklers and shit, right? The assault frigate is gonna be compared to the Jag. Then if he's like not like the Ram Jag, he's just gonna not be used ever, right? And assault cruiser is gonna, if it's like the Vedmak, it's gonna be balanced, basically, because the Vedmak is the only one which is normal and balanced out of the entire line which they released. Yeah. And that's the like kind of like the rundown. We need to see them being deployed on CC and the stats and whatnot before we can like educated guess say that the command destroyer is gonna have at least 4 mid slots, right? He's not gonna be running 3 mid slots. That's like that's a dumb thing, right?
Well, Trig ships in general are armor, right? So
I mean,
Kikamura.
if he runs 3 mid slots, that's the micro warp drive extender point, right? If he runs 4 mid slots, then he can have the MJD as well.
yeah. So I want the assault frig to have dual disintegrators.
That'd be too much.
Well,
Even
no,
with
like
Damavik style DPS.
well, no. So you look at the Damavik DPS, the bonuses, right? And you just, if you just doubled the bonus,
Oh, I see.
right? Because it'd be two lasers, right? But you can tune the bonus so that, because the Damavik gets like a 5% damage bonus per level.
Yeah.
Fucking, I don't even have any fits for this ship. Hold on.
I'm bringing it
Why
up.
it's a joke ship compared to the Daredevil, come on now.
There's a reason you don't have any fits, because none of them are good.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
with one sink in the low, I have with the cult, I have 382 max ramp DPS, and so if we doubled it, if we literally doubled that, that'd be 762 DPS. At
Don't
max ramp.
smoke, that's bad for you.
So that's probably a little much. So what you
No,
do
that
is
sounds fine to me. You can sirens
do,
are in the game. You can't forget that. So
You what?
we just balance everything to sirens. We'll be fine. We won't have problems anymore.
To be honest, I was predicting those stealth bombers, void rays. Pardon, Frank.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just like those things. I thought you were gonna say the same thing.
No, so like you take off the instead of having having two, I don't know. I just think it'd be something very different to have on a the assault freight to make it unique. Because instead of having a per level bonus, you can have a flat like roll bonus like they currently have, and like the Kiki currently has the range roll bonus. I just think having two lasers on the tier 2 ships would be fun flavor, because it'd be, you can balance numbers around it. They get more freedom to hit more than one target, but they have to wait for spool on both. I don't know the mechanically if how hard that would be. And you also
Well,
give
does
up
it pass
slot,
the
right?
Lusty test?
I mean, technically, I can see some multi-gun Triglavian ships. It would be interesting. You could be either shooting 2 targets for normal DPS on 2 targets, or just go all out on single target. Honestly, I mean, that would either mean that the hull will have to have monstrous fitting room, because the guns take tons of fitting.
Right.
And then imagine the single gun fit with some random ridiculous shit slapped into the other slots, because just imagine what all you could fit on a Lashak if you didn't have to fit the gun. I mean, it has tons of fitting. So, I mean, that's probably the bigger problem than the balancing the damage. You would either have to rebalance the fitting on the guns or on the old schools, and I honestly don't see either of that happening.
I'd also like a rate of fire bonus instead of a damage bonus on the
Yes,
assault frig.
yes.
Because the assault, I think with smaller targets, I think on smaller targets, it's less likely that a frig fight goes 2 minutes, right, for a full ramp. The Kiki, the Kiki is more likely to be kiting stuff for a little longer, and then the Vedmak and Drakovec, are fighting can fight large targets, but the Damavic and whatever the assault frig is going to be, if they're engaging another frigate, the fights are usually over before you hit max ramp or as you hit max ramp. So you kind of are never fighting at your full potential, which also feels bad.
Yeah, that would make sense to me. Rate of fire bonus would be better for any of the small weapons platforms. I don't know how that fare on the Kiki though.
Going back to my dual laser idea, if you just nix the damage bonus, make it a 2.5 rate of fire bonus per level. They also drain cap faster, a little faster, so there's a downside to it. As well
Then
as
you
having
just
to
shut one of the guns off.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know if CCP would ever do anything like that, because it feels like the entire point of the Triangulavian weapon system rep stuff is literally only have one. But I mean, I'm down for whatever.
I'm
Sounds
out of
interesting,
coffee.
at least.
That's not a good sign. Do
Thing
you think
is,
he's
though,
gonna
this-
have some strange things such as the ASDCU cooldown reductions and whatnot, some kind of things like that?
Ramp up DCU.
Yeah, and those kinds of things like that. I find it hard to believe they'll release a vanilla ship which just does F1 and approach, right? It might be more interesting than that.
Yeah, I hope more of the stuff is Triglavian Triglavian themed on the Tech 2 ships, because you're right, it would be pretty boring if it was just like, oh, this is an assault frig with one laser instead of a retribution with four lasers. I think
That's the thing, though.
there's a lot of design like room there with releasing a new ship line such as this. You know, I think I want there to be more, more to the ship.
But there's only so much they can do, because if you compare it to the Retribution, there's no way in hell people are going to want another Retribution but with a Triglavian tracking. And then if they don't make it on par with the Retribution, why the hell would anyone use it anyway? Because the Kikamura is better.
Well, if you just delete the Retribution and the Kiki from the game, you don't have those problems anymore.
Yeah, but deleting the ships isn't the point of it. It's like trying to find a balance between the three. As it
Deleting
stands,
ships was balanced. My bad.
but as it stands, if you're flying a Retribution and you're going against a Kikamura, only a very skilled Retribution pilot, basically not me, would be able to kill the Kikamura or get out alive.
So
And you don't
R15.
You can get out alive like often, but kill him is like completely different, right? Because he shoots into like the kick is disgusting.
Yeah, but I mean, they can probably balance it because we know that everything can be balanced by giving it drone bay. So let's just give Retribution a drone bay. I mean,
Yes, please.
it worked for Zealot and Caracal Navy. Oh, wait. Oh, no, never mind.
You know what? Just give it 5 more power grid. You'll be good, dude.
She got him.
Yo, if you added 5 more power grid to the Kiki though.
Oh shit.
No, please. No.
Let's not go there.
We're just gonna give the Kiki some extra drone bay.
I guess that Suitonia wants to stay out of this, unless he wants to call you. No, he doesn't.
I mean, is there anything that you
Well-
would have liked to see? Let's put it like this: is there anything from the Tech 2 ships you would like to see added that hasn't been discussed yet?
And no, you cannot say cat ears.
Yeah.
Because that's yours.
I don't know. No, I think it'd be like really cool to see like maybe some like new kind of like Triglavian bomb or something, or like stuff that's not really in the game right now with Triglavians.
I mean, expanding it,
Yeah,
the
stealth
Triglavian, the ramp-up mechanic on some other kinds of modules might be nice.
Yeah, like a bomb that you launch and it explodes, and then it's like a toilet, you know, like the StarCraft 2, like what's it
Yeah,
called?
the
Like,
Archon toilet, I know
yeah,
what you're
the
talking about.
Archon toilet, where it's like a bomb that does like really shit damage, like for the first 5 seconds, but then it like ramps up over time, like the Triglavian Void Ray, and then it's like this like doing like 3 times the damage of a bomb if you're like in it on like in it for like 10 seconds or something.
I would
Our good buddy in Twitch chat, Captain Skinback, was saying Triglavian Rorkals.
Oh, that will
Yeah,
happen.
dude, that's what I'm talking about. Let's release some and nerf them, man. Dude, ramp up that, dude. So what it would be is you have to have your Triglavian Rorqual undocked for 12 hours to get maximum mining benefits, but then it mines like Rourke's pre-nerf. There you
Yep,
go,
ramp up
dude.
hyena with the stronger web on each spin.
Yeah. Or ramp up bubble on
Stronger
Hick.
web.
Yeah, imagine the ramp up bubble, it expands slowly until it covers half of grid.
That would be sick.
It starts out very small, and then it just it starts out like 5 kilometers.
Then
and
it
then
gets really big.
expands.
An interceptor with a ramp up max speed would be really interesting.
I actually
What's
like
this?
the bubble idea. I know is a meme, but like
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
because you couldn't really use it for gate camping based on the ramp, because like let's say it
It would be
takes a minute.
perfect for that.
Let's say it takes like a minute to ramp, right? Well, you could use it for some gate camping, but if I crash gate and then jump back through, like your old bubble is going to be expiring and your new bubble isn't going to be expanded yet.
Oh, so you mean not actually up permanently? It can only be up for a minute, but while it's
Right,
up,
like
it
a
goes
sa-
bigger.
like a saber
Okay.
bubble. Like
Yeah, okay.
So like it starts out as like 5 kilometer wide, and then expands to, or what's I guess the diameter is
25,
40
I think.
kilometers right now because it's 20 off the saber, right? So
Yeah.
So the diameter, let's say, starts at 6 kilometers, which is 3 off the saber, goes up to 60, 80, but then it hits 80 and disappears.
What's the
Something
speed
like
the
that. I mean, we
babble's
can put,
traveling
like,
at? That's the real question.
The numbers are always alterable, but I think that would be really, really crazy because you couldn't chase anyone with it because like if you're just taking gates with them, obviously it wouldn't expand fast enough. But like for tackling supers, it could work well, right? Because you have these
And your
bubbles
enterprise skill.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think that has some merit despite starting out as a meme idea.
A ramp up for the self tank on a Marauder would be really interesting, even though they don't get used it very much, like outside of PvE. I think that would be pretty cool. Like the
Ramp
longer you're
up,
tanking damage, the more you tank.
Those plex guns, right? Shooting those drones.
Yeah. Let's skip the drone part, just load Plex. I mean, why not? It works
Yeah.
for World of Tanks.
So Triglavian Doomsday, except it's a GTFO and it teleports everyone hit into an abyssal site.
Lol.
I think
Boom.
instead of everyone
Easy
goes
there,
into
Satan.
abyssal site,
Oh, like
instead of an abyssal site, it just teleports you into the CSM meeting. That's what it does.
I'd rather be in an abyssal.
Yes, please.
Okay, let's move on to one last point. We saw that the Triglavian capital is gonna be real big. Big. Not as big as Frank, but almost. But we will see. Will it be player usable? Will it be decoration? Will it be
Oh, you mean
citadel?
it could be a forward operating base? Possibly?
Yes.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. You don't want to fight 9,000 Lashaks?
I don't want to fight anything in PvE, to be honest.
Those
The truth
pictures
comes
compare-
out. Monkey not a PvEer.
That's been known about me for a long time.
Jebby can figure out the meta ahead of time of like ECM burst vexes or something.
Oh yes, for sure. Yes. That's how we liberated the Warzone with like ECM Tristans. I mean, it was really good. The picture comparing the size of the capital with the Keepstar is telling. It's gonna be fucking ginormous. That thing is gonna be bigger than a fucking Avatar, right? It's gonna dwarf of Avatar.
Yeah.
It's
It
gonna like.
reminds me of the myths of the Mega Titans or whatever that were apparently in the game at one
No,
time. Like,
those are bigger.
Lepetians or something.
Those,
Yeah, thank
those
you.
are bigger. Those are much bigger.
They were like planets worth of resources,
Yeah, they're like,
whereas the ones we have now are a lot smaller.
they are the size of smaller planets, so normal
They would take
capitals
up a whole planet of
should
resources
not
to
even
build up.
compare to them size-wise.
I have the links to them somewhere.
Can we
No.
can we use those for smart bombing gates?
Yes,
Sure. We were
but
trying
only
to
one
bounce the arcing Wharton projector to the gate, but it doesn't work like that, sadly.
well, there's also a possibility that it will be neither player usable, nor will it be just decoration, nor it will be citadel. Maybe it will be another incursion material, because drifter incursions sorta are, well, I mean, I guess they are on back burner. And
Lol.
by now they burn down. But it might be cool to see new incursion.
The bit that confuses me with the Triglavian ship is that a lot of people have been speculating how awesome a Triglavian dreadnought would be,
Fucking
but for it
yes.
to become the size of like an Avatar or even bigger, as was mentioned, that seems a bit silly to me. We don't need more Titans in game. We've got what, like 30 different types, all of them reskinned. I think it's time to move away from Titans and go smaller.
You were thinking there would be a carrier then, or a super.
But then the carrier or super wouldn't make use of the actual gun.
Fighter's
Yeah.
Oh no, thank you.
Lol, 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 lol. Triglavian Siren drones.
Yes, they ramp up. You simply start gaining more drones in the flight the longer you have them on grid. Easy.
It's a turret mechanic, isn't it? And the fighters use missiles at the moment, so it wouldn't
No,
work
but
there.
you launch the fighters and it's 3 fighters, but after 5 minutes it's 20 fighters. Easy. So we can make this work. But yeah, I guess if nobody else has any hopes or dreams or predictions about Triglavian shit, anyone? No?
I have a prediction that that they're gonna be strong, probably, based on the Lashak and Kikamura.
Yeah,
Oh.
for sure.
They
looking
could
forward to
also
the
be.
Deadman.
They could also be based on Damavik. So let's stay conservative for now.
So if you guys have noticed with Super Hunters, it's gone from the Lashak being like the end-all ship, and then the Drekovic come out, the battle cruiser, and they swap to that. I'm wondering if they're going to swap to the Tech G Redmac when that comes out, because it looks like they're going for smaller but mobile.
Yeah, it's like the mass on wormholes, right? Like you can only bring like I think you can bring like something like if you're bringing like a barrel gun or two and like a few nesters and a Lashak, you can only really bring like 15, 16 ships, like in and out. Whereas with Dracovics, you can bring like 60 of them. So
And even more cruisers. So yeah, I'll be interested to see what they do with them, because let's be real, I'm never going to fly one.
The tech to resist profile is gonna be super strong, but the pirate tech to resist profile is gonna be disgusting. When he clicks the SDCU, he's gonna have like 100,000 HP just by existing unfitted, right? For sure. So that's gonna be like, if he can shoot at 100 kilometers, then maybe we'll see some Ferox action and shit like that, right?
Yeah, and then he will overheat the hardeners, he will go over 100 resist and explode. Perfect!
Lol, 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 lol.
Either way, let's move on to the next part that was sort of presented by CCP, and that's the expansion of the implants, pirate implants more importantly. All pirate factions will get secondary set of implants and, brace for it, shield slaves will not be a meme anymore. They're happening. At least they said they are happening, like they said before, and before that, and before that, but now it looks like it will be happening. So, will it be the year of the Wyvern?
No.
Good. I
The
was
white
getting
is
afraid.
much more than that.
it's gonna be the year of the 26 KEHP worm in the novice site.
Hey, yeah, that's what I was gonna say, like those kinds of things. Dual medium shield extender worms in novice plexus, that's gonna be the era.
And the 1 billion EHP.
Rattlers, yeah, and Commodores and shit, right? It's unbelievable.
I cannot just wait for the day when shield nixes are mainline doctrine.
What the fuck did my ears just hear? Did you just say shield nixes?
Yes.
Lol, 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 lol. That's like, that's fucking priceless.
So
But-
I don't know, like, part of the change, right, is to move. Well, according, I just linked it in our in-game chat, but the image is, the image they posted is that slaves will be shielded EHP now, and the armor ones will be called amulets.
Yep, they're swapping their places in the LP store. Also, the
Yeah.
LP agents are kind of limited, so the dudes hoarding Concord LP from Incursions are gonna be swapping that shit. That's gonna be the primary source of those things, right? Not running missions for 3 fucking agents. That's also like a predicament there, because the armor implants generate from like 100 agents and the shield implants will be generated from like 4 agents across the universe and whatnot. It's gonna be like...
the Sanchez Nation have like they have like the most level 4s out of any of the pirate factions. I think they have like 26 or something, whereas Blood Raiders only have 4 level 4s.
Yep.
So it's gonna make slaves become a lot harder to get, especially once the potency 75 booster expires in October, because a lot of people are using that to like chain farm burners right now.
Yeah.
Because it lets you just decline any mission without any penalty, so you can just basically decline until you get like whatever burner you want.
So, are they? This is the question: will they convert if you have high grade slaves like in your cargo right now? Like in my hangar, I have high grade slave like Gamma or something.
That'll get converted into an amulet.
Yep.
It's just a name change, essentially.
Okay.
And in your head, in your pod, if they're plugged into your head, they'll become renamed as well.
Yeah, but I think that maybe more than the shuffling and of the first set of implants to accommodate the shield slaves, the interesting part will be that pirates will get second set of implants, and some of those are pretty damn interesting. I think Frank linked them in the chat channel now. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's also, I mean, there's the Rapture that they mentioned is for a capacitor.
Yeah, I wonder if that's gonna make like some new like super like perma tank like Vax and Marauder fits like.
Yeah. Don't tell Necro. Yeah, I mean, well, of course we get the fighter and drone implants because, of course, that we have to fix the nerfs somehow. But
Well, I'm not sure if people will actually use them though, right? Like the only ship that they're probably going to be like really broken on are going to be like Garooster's ships, which probably would rather have like the crystals or shield slaves, or on like supers, right? That are gonna using like ascendancies or like slaves or amulets instead.
yeah,
Yep, unless the implants are like times 1,000 HP for the drones or whatever, no one's gonna
they're,
use
they're
them.
52%.
Yeah, lol, fuck that shit, lol. I mean, I saw that thread, but like, I assume that's like speculation shit, it's not finalized. The 52% HP bonus sounds like it's like only dudes who hate themselves. That's like going into an RPG with a rusty knife, right? That's like, you wanna like have...
Well, maybe real cool pilots will use them because they make your like excavators harder to bomb and kill.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Probably what they're for.
that disgusting Care Bears, they always get nice implants.
But as someone who's a proud CEO of aliens living in angel space, NPC angel space even, I'm so hyped to see that angels get at last one set of useful implants, because who the fuck even uses Halos? Where was the last time you saw someone using Halos anyway? Aside from Tengu, that was a long time ago.
Halos are useful. It's just the problem is like they suck compared to snakes. Like if you look at like damage mitigation,
Yeah.
like Halos are about as good as snakes, but snakes just give you range control, mobility. So
Yeah, the best comparison will be, let's say, Ishtars with halos and Ishtars with snakes, right? Some things which are micro warp drive signature thing, right?
Yeah.
Or like Munins or whatever. You'll always leverage the snakes more.
Yeah, but now we will get second set of implants that will shorten your logi cycle. I mean, okay, I'm sure that people that fly logi a lot will all be overjoyed. People that fly Triglavian logi will be triple overjoyed by those. But
Also be interesting if that puts too much cap pressure, like how that changes the cap pressure
yeah,
you're putting on your own ship.
I mean, it boils down to how strong the bonus will be. Because if it's like 20% or something around that, then it's a good bonus. But at the same time, it will make it manageable. If it's something insane like with 60% or let's go crazy, then yeah, you will wrap a fucking battleship to full health in 2 cycles, but you will cap yourself out about 4 cycles in, because
Yeah,
obviously.
I think Suitonia linked a forum post from Bozzy that has
Yeah, thanks.
the set slot. So high grade saviors will be 50% bonus with the Omega in. So 50% faster
Oh
cycle
no,
time.
the total effect's on the right hand side. That's just how much bonus the
Oh.
Omega implant gives to the rest of the set.
Oh,
Which is normal.
where is it?
It's gonna
It's
be
like total
reasonable.
effect. It should be on the most right hand side, but it might be
That's
broken.
down. Okay, so it's 20.7%. I can read.
There's a picture like below the table.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
can't see
I
it.
just saw the picture. So the total effect of the high grade saviors is 20.7%.
Yeah, because it's like cycle time, it works out to be like a bit stronger than like 25% to like rep amount. So like if you
Right.
have like 4 reps on a scimitar, then you're basically like repping 5.
Yeah. I mean, 20% it will be pretty damn strong, but it will be manageable cap-wise. So I'm pretty sure those will be popular, especially for people who fly the Triglavian logi, because the main thing that really makes it unviable once you have to manage more targets is the ramp-up time, and this will help a lot.
Yeah, it also could mean like maybe you could like you could also like fit those implants and maybe like drop a large to a small rep or something and still have the same rep amount. Then you have like a faster cycle and then also like more tank from the extra grid or something.
Mm,
I mean, I'm sure we will. I'm not happy about it.
Well, I don't think you're gonna encounter like that many like high grade savior scalpels around, but
I think it will be possible if.
Oh shit,
with
shit,
20%
testing,
bonus
pardon, lol.
and overheat.
Pardon,
I'm pretty
my
sure He
bad.
will hit one.
I was saying
he
about
will
deacons.
hit 1 tick for rep.
yeah, but I think like you won't really like. I think like small gang lottery people might pick them up, but I don't think blobs will use them. Because I think blobs like if blobs are gonna buy like an implant set, they're gonna buy like mid-grade sleeves or the guardians like they already do.
Like the Guardians and the Basilisks would be the most reasonable candidates because they can sustain heavy capacitor duress, right?
Yeah.
The the fucking Oneiros, he can run a battery kind of ish. The Scimitar, he can kind of run low slots and rigs. Probably the Care Bears are gonna use those the most, so that way they can run like TCRCs with like 6 Basilisks instead of 7, right? Or whatever the fuck, right? That's the prediction.
Either way, it will make Logi stronger. At the same time, it will also make cap warfare much stronger, because honestly, you with fists that are pretty much able to operate under a bit of node pressure now, you will be much more vulnerable with those implants. So it will be double-edged. I'm just happy that Angel LP store gets something after a long time.
Monka,
Which leads me to another point of this question. Well, point. Do you think this will actually shake up the viability of different NPC factions? Because honestly, some are basically just there. They do not have anything in LP store worth farming for. Now that there will be at least two sets to choose from, aside from the other things that are not worth buying, like ship BPCs. I mean, it might actually even have that little effect of breathing life into NPC Nolan area.
Well, it's gonna affect exploration, right? Because when the amulets come out, the
Yeah,
intact armor plates will be moving to blood rare space, right?
yeah, I think they are shuffling the loot around a bit.
So, what, like, what does the Sancha region have now that makes exploration good, or do they just join drones with shit in the shit pile?
Oh, I haven't seen them say that in the thread, so I'm not 100% sure if that's happening or not.
I mean, if they add them raw to the LP store, that's gonna be like total imbalance, gonna be chalked down on the availability of those agents. Like you were saying, there's like 4 of them. Something's gonna have to be done on that topic.
I don't know if they. I don't think they'll. I'm not sure like how viable it is for them to like add like Blood Raider agents though. For example, especially
Yeah, like in
the one
Khador
that
or
sucks
somewhere.
is the Serpentis, right? Because there's only one level 4 combat agent for them.
There's actually 2 or 3, but they're basically all stuck in 2 stations total. So,
So a block can dominate them.
yeah, pretty much. Like you have Serpentis in Fountain NPC Pocket and in lower parts of Cures, and basically that's the only like 2 or 3 stations where you can get Serpentis NPC combat agents for L4s. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice if they actually either moved some agents around or changed some agents to different levels. They've done that with the level 5s not that long ago, so it's...
Oh yeah, they nuked that level 5 that was.
Yeah,
Well, that was being farmed by Shadow Cartel, right?
Well, it was like kind of broken because it was like the only low sec system in that constellation. And if you know how missions work, it only ever gives you missions in the same constellation that you're
Yep.
in. So you would always get was it
there.
Asakai? Or no, it wasn't Asakai, it's like a
Hey, sucky.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, but it was basically only one possible system where you could get a 5, so that was farmed to death.
yeah, so you could basically just have like a hyperspace like carrier with ascendancies or a super even. Like I think people in Project Mayhem were farming them in Nixes.
Yeah, basically an heli carrier for super will do. But yeah, I mean, it would be nice if they... Because this will breathe a bit of life into NPC null. We need NPC null CSM candidate, by the way. And yeah, moving the agents again around might actually make NPC null also a bit more viable or attractive for people to come and check out sometimes. I know that it's completely on, like, not on the roadmap, but it would be nice. We can dream. Okay, anyone else anything to that before we move to one last sub point?
Yeah, I guess it could be interesting if like CCP added like other ways to get loyalty points, maybe other than missions. I'm not sure like how though, but
Yes, that's
There'd always be something to do with helping you with the defense fleet, like you did that video where you were using the defense fleet to like bait other people in. But if you were to help the defense fleet kill the people, you get a bit of loyalty points for that or something. But that would be like easily abusable.
Yeah, but I mean some sort of interaction with the local pirates if you have standings with them would be nice, I guess. What did we make those advanced AI for CCP?
To piss me off.
well, to grind standings on tackle alts for Delve.
But that too. But yeah, I guess that if nobody has anything else, we will move to the next sub point, the last sub point, and that's tier sit, tier side will probably continue. They promised. Again, again,
Again.
again. But okay, so do you think
Don't
they
smoke,
will
that's bad
actually
for you.
finish the tier side before the servers shut down? And did you see someone fit layered armor plating ever?
Nope, same as Quake ammo or like a bunch of other things like that.
Or all of the meta plating, the meta adaptive platings we have, where like the metaphor refuge adaptive plating is better than Tech 2 in every single way.
All the scripts for the fucking things, right? We have 700 billion different Evor scripts and shit. That needs to be tier side. Medium guns for the autocannons, RT. Oh, fuck yeah.
And to know a meta
We
energized
tested.
adaptive membranes
Here's
are
head
worse than
full.
T2 adaptive plating in every way, or
Yo,
refuge
let's
adaptive
swoosh it.
plating. But yeah, that's a lot of things for them to cover. I think I think they'll probably do.
Fuck
Like, I'm
yeah.
not sure like
Oh,
if
my
they're gonna
God.
continue tier side, but they're at least
Feels good,
committed
man.
now. I think to doing like the capacitor recharge modules and the shield regen modules.
Flux coils.
Small
God,
batteries for
gonna summon
foxes.
Necro.
We need
Yeah.
Necro. We need to bring him on next time.
Just like fit full loads of flux coils on any ship and he will appear.
Well, my smart bomb and Max have flux scores, but I've not seen him in local yet. Admittedly, I've not used them for quite a while, but
Because
still.
it's not stable.
It is like 3% still after the update.
That's what you
I have
first
to check,
said.
and that's with Tech 2 skills for Tech 2 bombs, which is really stupid. So if you have Tech 2 skills for the smart bombs, and you have a full faction fit, a ship or character with the level 4 skill for it will be cap stable, where the the level 2 or level 5 Tech 2 one won't be, because of like the faster module rate. If that makes sense. I completely fucked that one up, but yeah.
Yeah, it has high rate of fire, but the one more skills does more damage over time and closes side slightly faster. So
Yeah, but that don't really make a difference now, considering you have to wait 15 fucking minutes for a site to respawn. It's a good thing against the big blocks, but against the people who have like one system between them, it's a bit silly.
You just blown your crabbing cover.
It takes literally 6
Oh.
minutes to do all 4 ports, and it takes literally 25 minutes to wait for them all to respawn.
It
I'm
should
logged off
be.
more than I'm logged in.
That would be like TikTok made a good post back in the day saying that spawn rate of things should be like anomaly should be tied to the more you rate, right?
Population, yeah.
And the more you rate, the less shit you get there, right? Like gets depleted and whatnot. We can't live in a world in which 50,000 dudes can rate in 7 systems.
Yeah, 4 people running in one system can't do it anymore. At least
Oh,
it needs to
fuck
be separately
yeah!
operated.
Yes, make them spread out. That's a good thing.
I mean, I think we already agreed mostly on previous episodes that ADMs are basically reverse in logic. How does it make fucking sense that killing the pirates over and over again makes more pirates come in? Like, it should be opposite. When you take new system, it should be at max ADM, and the more you farm, it should be lower or something. But I guess.
yeah, I've always
CCP.
thought that like there should be like maybe some kind of like threat level for the system for the pirates, where like either less show up or maybe some of the anomalies get more dangerous. Like they start bringing like blood raided devote NPCs in Delve, for example.
Yeah.
That start showing up in anoms just to make it like more dangerous for people who are continuing farming in like the same systems.
Yeah, and I mean, there is mechanic for NPC escalation, so it would be doable. So I guess that's way beyond the horizon. It doesn't fit on the roadmap, I guess.
Well, following what Suitonia was saying, like, for instance, at the moment, if I know Suitonia, Jebby, Frank will remember this, you probably as well, JJ. Back in the day, if you were in a scepter or a Confessor, for example, you would be able to go out, and if you tackled a rattlesnake that was ratting, your Confessor had a decent chance to kill it. But now, if you point anything, even if that ship's been ratting in that system for like 25 years, the rats will all switch to the new person who's using Ewar.
Yeah, that's the problem with actually the new AI, because Ewar has higher threat level than just using
Well,
guns.
Just
also-
killing them, apparently.
The majority of it's based on the person that warps a new target warped in. So like on yesterday when I was streaming, I think it was yesterday, there was a Megathron Navy issue ratting on a hidden site. I warped in and a Cinnaball warped after me. So, but I landed first and the Cinnaball was still in warp, so the rats targeted me because I was the new target. Then I warp off and warp back. The rats still target me because I land second, because I landed a new target. But the Cinnaball came probably 20 seconds after, and then the rats targeted the Cinnaball.
Was
None
you
of us
pointing
had
anyone,
used
though?
any E-War, but it was based on who chronologically landed within the time frame. So it's still a dumb mechanic. It still
Yep.
doesn't make sense that it's
For
like
sure.
that.
I kind of wish
But-
they just updated all of the anomes with like the new diamond NPCs and like made them like, you know, like instead of like a Haven
Yeah.
having like 20 APOCs that are just like the same tank as like a normal player destroyer, like have like 2 like actual APOCs that are diamond NPCs, and then also like you could have like, you know, if you have good standings to local NPCs, like you don't get shot by them. So
I
no
would
way like
love that.
that
We
would
talked
also
about
help
that.
null NPC null too, right? Because like if you want to hunt in, let's say Impasse, right? You go to Curse and you grind Angel standings, and you go and try to hunt in Impasse.
Okay, just watching mine.
I've been talking about that. The first 2 Shittalking stations is that I would love if there was that depth of mechanic where, like, if you had faction and you didn't aggress the rats on a site, like they would ignore you.
It partially works like that for your alts. If you warp a non-hostile dude there, like a Logi or a sensor booster or whatnot, most of the times the rats won't aggress. So it must be some kind of like either signature or hostile or some kind of other thing, right? It would be nice if we were to get some equivalent of sovereignty blockade unit which the PvPers can anchor, and then it disrupts the care bearing, and the care bears have to come out frothing at their mouths. They're like, oh, he's disrupting the care bearing, right? That kinds of things. Like the intel networks of nullsec plus the being aligned means that the dude not being a retard, he can't die, right? It's literally impossible for him to die. He's like living in the should be most dangerous space in the universe, but it's like technically the safest, right? So it's like we're dealing with a bunch of shit which needs to be fixed, boys.
Yeah, I would pay real money to have all red AI changed to sleeper AI. Yeah, that's just from me. Anyway, anyone has any more to hope for, or have you abandoned our hope already? If
I'm
you did,
holding my breath for the 64-bit client.
yes, then we will move
Yes.
on to that. Okay, now take hammer and smash your fucking computer. Okay? Done?
Is the RAM leak that bad?
Troll.
Yes, then you've perfectly simulated the situation that will likely occur when it goes left.
Troll.
Because if the first public mass test showed us something, is that it is possible to leak more memory than the new launcher. And yeah, I mean, obviously more memory
That's
use
shade,
should
Lemaire.
be sorta expected from 64-bit client, but by that we don't mean that we should use all the fucking memory before we even fucking log in. But whatever. The launch of 64-bit was postponed. To make
Yeah,
us
it's
not.
been moved to August now, I think.
Yeah,
That's not
but
a
at last
surprise, really.
at last we get folks with skill injector, so we're not that sad.
To be fair, this is one of the updates I would much rather they take their time doing and get it right the first time, and then fuck up and have to do multiple episodes of it.
Do you think we're gonna be getting like two clients, such as like Eve remastered and Eve, right? Are dudes gonna have the option to run the legacy client or what? Because like the 64-bit client is gonna be like DirectX 11 driven, a bunch of Linux dudes and Mac dudes not gonna be happy with this if that's the only thing running.
Yeah, I think CCB has done like hardware surveys, and I'm not sure of the stats, but like the number of people who are like using a machine that like can't use DX11 is like a single %, like very low.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, the DirectX 11 on Linux is at point where it doesn't crash anymore, it's usable. So in that regard, there shouldn't be much problem. The problem will probably rear its head when somebody somewhere left some integer to 32-bit value, and it will be hard-coded, and then all gates will stop working because they expect something somewhere to be 32-bit and nobody nev.
I no longer jump to OTEC V.
No. You will jump gate, and suddenly you will be in Jita local. Not in Jita, Jita local.
Didn't that happen recently?
Ball.
Yes, that was like warning.
I've got a song about this one.
Please no.
No, I don't.
Let me find it online real quick.
No, but anyway, okay, they've postponed it. They've postponed it to get more time to make it not set your dog on fire. It will set your cat on fire instead. So, but do you think it will be complete shit show? Do you think it will be horrible shit show, or do you think it will be the very, very liquid shit show?
No, I think it'll be good. I mean, there's gonna be bugs with everything, but hey, I'm looking forward to the 64-bit client.
Yep, it's gonna be lit because of the huge space battles. The client is limited to be using 4 gigabytes of RAM, and as you hit over 4, it crashes to desktop no matter what. 4 gigabytes is like if you're running 2560 times 1440 in a 1,000-man battle, you hit that for sure, right? So it's gonna be good. It might even mean that we can have like client-side stability for like multiple 1,000-man battles because of the RAM limitations.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it means that like people can like do more stuff, like stream with effects on in like big fights, or like record locally.
Yes, please.
better
Not with my
effects.
PC.
Yeah, I mean, if you have you have to have like a really good PC to do it, obviously. But like right now, like you have to like have everything on potato mode, even if your PC could theoretically handle it.
Correct, yes. We fuck around with that every space battle. I kind of like feel bad bringing down the graphics, and it's not even using like 5% of the hardware.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing about EVE Online, I think, is like how awesome it looks.
Agreed.
It's gorgeous, for sure. The art team is carrying the game.
I mean, I don't know, I'm always zoomed out, but... Anyway, along with the 64-bit postponing, they sort of said or promised that there will be more balance, because we can't handle all this balance at once, but there will be more balance coming along in around the same time as the 64-bit client. They also extended the balance bar on the CCP please page, so now it's completely outside of the web page boundary. I mean, like Cascade style sheets are very serious business. But okay, since there will be more balance, which ship is getting drawn by next?
The Stabber.
Oh, the Eris.
The Hound is getting drone bay next.
Oh, the Hound's good though.
Yeah, but it needs drone bay.
I mean, like I don't know, like I'd say like the worst ships I think that don't have a drone bay that like suck currently are like number one Eris. Actually, I think it might have a drone bay. I think it has like one Hobgoblin
I
or
think the
something.
Orthus needs a drone bay too.
It has one.
Like the Crow kind of sucks, but then also it kind of has to suck because it's a nullified interceptor.
To be fair, you could put all of the combat scepters onto this list because they all suck right now.
Oh, what about T3s? Should any of the T3s get drones?
All the T3s are in a good spot, I'd say.
But they don't have drone bay.
Except the Tengu, they can all fit drones.
What about the Desis?
I was referring to
I think
Destroyer,
every
yeah.
destroyer like
That's what I was thinking of when I said
Pretty
that,
good.
Frank. I apologize.
I think the Hecate should get a 125-meter drone bay.
And get a drone damage boost
Get
when it's in
Gecko.
attack mode.
Yeah.
Honestly, they should probably give the Gila a drone bay. Don't know why they have drone bonuses on it, but no drone bay.
Shut up, DTM.
Can we kill
but
him now?
the fire flights are not enough.
The 5 flights are never enough. Why can't I launch sledge drones with the Gila? That's what I really want to know.
While we're at it, just give the fighters a drone bay as well.
Actually, that's a really good
Fighters
idea.
can
Give
If you
Sirens
launch
a
from
drone bay.
fire,
Give the Sirens the drone bay.
Oh, okay.
Sirens.
Suitonia brought a good point. What would you do to make Eris? What would you do to see at last one out in wild?
Increase the CPU on it because if you fit a bubble launcher on a Eris, it unironically has less CPU than an Atron with having to fit 4 more guns.
To see the Ares in space, somebody flying it, just go to
Look at
Horde
Ares.
space.
Go to Sancho. There's a load of them doing combat explore. Well, relic explore.
No,
Yeah.
not the scepter,
No,
the
no.
dictator.
The Eris.
Oh, the Dictator. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
Get a saber or a heretic.
I mean, it's normal you forgot this exists. We all did. CCP too.
I actually saw one on Brave Space on D-Scan, and I was like, oh, they don't have a bubbler on the gate, let's warp to it. And I was like, oh shit, the Eris is a fucking bubbler. Luckily, he was too dumb to bubble, but still, it was like...
What
I
else would
mean,
you
yeah.
expect out of an Ares pilot?
He couldn't fit it.
You couldn't fit it.
He couldn't
Yeah.
hit it. It was just an expensive Hecate.
He accidentally trained Galanti Destroyer 5 instead of Mimitar Destroyer 5, which is far better.
Hey.
I'm gonna lean into this.
He thought he was getting in. He thought he was getting in Catalyst, but I mean they look almost the same.
Oh, dude.
He's like, oh, it's the Tech 2 Catalyst. That's fine. That's better.
That's better. That's better. It's gonna be good, guys. Just wait till I get in it, and you're gonna see the glory of the Ares.
Well, the
Said no one
only
ever.
good thing about the Eris is that because like it's so useless and no one flies it, you can get like to like the top killers list on Killboard by killing like 6 people or something. So
Where's
You
Lucky
could-
Mayo at?
Yeah, there's your material for.
Mayo.
Yeah, you can make a pickup line out of that.
Hey, Carol, are you so rare that you sound like that, lol?
oh, like I fit a Sino on my Eris so you can jump on my dick. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah, like for real, like, for real.
Wow. There's no words for that one. Sorry.
King subtle.
Hey, girl,
lol.
are you an Ares? Cause you're looking rich, dude.
Lol.
God.
You dudes are ready for the Turbo Folk Club, for sure.
To be fair, the Eris is just an expensive catalyst at this point.
Except Catalyst is better.
Yeah, Catalyst is
Catalyst is
better in
better.
every
Well,
way.
have you ever wanted to have high grade snakes on a catalyst but not pay for high grade snakes and only pay like 60 mil? Oh, that's the Eris.
Soul.
I mean, now when you look at it, I mean, maybe it's Catalyst from Apple. I mean, it's basically the same thing as the cheap one, but it's more expensive.
So it runs out of battery after 5 minutes.
And if there's any damage to it, you just have to replace it. There's no getting a new one or repairing it. You just replace it.
All right, I think we can skip the rest of this because I think that one Eris pilot just now is
Hated us.
No, I think he's about to jump, so let's not push him. Alright, let's move to next point, which is what everyone here should be hyped for, the player tournaments.
Yay!
Yeah, the Stream Feed Invitational looks like it's going to be a really good tournament, and that's in 2 weeks' time.
Yep, and DTM's tournament and the Anger game, so we're getting 3 of them. Fuck yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you have to buy a ticket for one of them, but okay.
I don't know, man. I like the fact that they're backing player tournaments. I wish the communication feels really slow from CCP. I think I mentioned this the other day when I was talking with a group of people. I know it's probably not strictly on them, but it's really frustrating. Like hanging out and like just waiting for a response from them constantly. It's not the end of the world. It just kind of sucks, man. I wish I knew what was going on so I knew how much time I should actually be investing into like waiting up for CCP, which I'm really trying not to do anyways. It is what it is.
Is it too soon to start making Alliance Tournament is gone jokes or what?
No.
I think
With the crab thing?
Yeah. Bye bye, AT. You know what they say about canceling the Olympic Games to revise the rules of said games?
Well, it'll probably be like what they did with their events, and Streamfleet will end up taking over part of running the tournaments. CCP will just delegate it to them, kind of how they do. Like Streamfleet has a lot to do with the meetups and stuff.
I mean, so the thing is, like, that's what I originally said on episode 1, I think, when we talked about the AT being canceled, and I still think it's a possibility. The issue is, one, trusting an AT type ship, AT ship winnings to a pretty much third party organization, right? Because Streamfleet will not, it's still going to be a third party thing, right?
Well,
So-
I mean, you don't necessarily. It's all that Streamfleet has to do is give them the list, and CCP just has to confirm that that's the list of winners. They can go back and watch the
Well, no,
tournament.
that's not the thing. Like, that's handing it out the ships is not the issue. Like,
Okay.
it's getting a prize pool of those ships to a third party run organization. Like, what if Raiden? Raiden, I don't think would ever do this because I just don't think he would. But what if he flips one day, right? And he decides that he's going to collude and declare a different winner, send in, get the top 4 teams or something, get the winning stack, and then, like, it kind of, you know what I mean? Like, it kind of opens it up for.
Yeah, but Frank, that's a technical issue. They can solve that by directly giving said winnings to the actual winners without the
Yeah,
middleman.
but
I
he's
think what
saying-
he's talking about is like the event that like a third party event organizer can like collude in some way.
Yeah, I get it. I
Yeah.
get it for sure. But like at the same time, if you look at the most successful games in the world for streaming and tournaments such as Dota, none of it is run by Valve, right?
Yeah,
You've
but-
never
That's true.
seen
Yeah, but
like a
Valve
thing like that.
Valve doesn't give out unique prizes to
Dude,
people that
what the
affects the
fuck, my
in-game
dude?
economy though. It's like prize money, but
Yeah, for real. They
Yeah,
give
that's-
like
that's
money.
Yeah, you're always going to have a problem with the conflict of interest in third-party run tournaments, and I don't think that necessarily CCP has to give out AT ships. I think AT should always be mostly handled by CCP if you talk about it in that kind of way. I don't think it should be their primary tournament. I think I said this last time. I'd like to see a tournament where it was more skill based and it had less to do with, how much money you're willing to throw at the tournament and stuff like that. I'd also like to see smaller teams, which I don't think I've seen anything from the other tournaments yet where it's a smaller team so you can really kind of build a relationship with the teams, but we'll see what ends up coming out of it.
I mean, I would just be happy if we don't even need 80 ships or anything. We just need something to make it worth competing, like just getting pat
Yes,
on the back and
please.
saying, "Oh, okay, you won. I can just come get in Tama and gang people and pat myself on back. Like, just, I don't know, make some exclusive skins that works for NT and, like, I don't know, make normal version of, just take the before the skins, the old special edition of ships. It's basically the same ship, but with different model or different skin. Like this is not that different, and like it doesn't give you any advantage. It's the same fucking ship that already exists. It just looks different.
Oh,
Ma
dude,
vivo-
I think it for the next AT, the tournament ship they should hand out is an actual T2 catalyst. Anyways, you can go.
Yeah, but
Well,
like,
there's plenty of things that they can do that I think would be like super interesting. Like, have you seen the new monument they made for KTC, the blogger who visited every system in Eve?
yeah.
Took her to Polaris, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's like a really awesome like monument in the game now, and like it'd be cool if that you could just like have one of those like built for your alliance, and you just like tell them what system to put it in. Kind of like the old AT monument that's like in Amamaki, etc.
Yeah.
Man, like dudes would like go to the maximum tryharding just for the medal, right? It doesn't need to have any kind of reward. It just needs to officially say in 2019, Blue Melon and his crew were first, right? Or whatever the fuck, right? Dudes would like spend trillions of isks on that, right? For sure. It's like the rewards are second to this. What we are all fighting for is for being the most elitist in the universe. Like, why the fuck should I ever undock if I'm not practicing for the Alliance tournament, right? Like,
Well,
what?
The problem is I brought this up earlier. The AT's not a good representation of the best pilots in EVE Online. It's a close representation, but you'll get a much more accurate one if you do things like you don't need it to be alliance locked. Alliances can still put in teams, but like they don't need to be alliance locked. You also, you throw out like other ideas. Like the current meta is kind of restrictive because specifically Logi's a really good example. Later into the AT, either you have AT Logi ships or you don't, and that's a big factor in whether or not you can progress. And you always have like underdogs and stuff. Don't get me wrong. Team
Don't
size limits also
smoke,
an
that's
issue.
bad
Getting
for
10
you.
guys to fly all the time is a lot harder than getting 5 guys to fly all the time. There's just it's restrictive. The AT is, and I don't necessarily say we should throw it away, but I think keep AT how it is. And if you're gonna have like a tournament where people
More
get
formats.
Yeah, like the minor series of tournaments leading to the major series of tournaments leading up to the Alliance tournament, right? It's as if dudes fucking hate money, right? Like, how the fuck does Farming Simulator has an esports scene and EVE Online doesn't? Like, what the actual shit, lol?
I told
Like-
you, we do not have tractors.
Yeah, like, we
that's
have
the problem.
Rorquals.
We need space tractors, guys. Fuck.
So,
Fuck, Mom! Get the notepad, right? Space tractors. All right, we're good. I got it down.
Give me a tractor. You can win a tractor that has a Cloverup's cloak and one more mid and one more low.
yes, that'll be a good tractor.
From a normal tractor, what's the slot layout on a normal tractor?
It got only 1 high, but it gets 8 lows.
They're called Rorquals.
I mean, Jesus fuck, if they gave us tractors, I will be participating in every single tournament ever.
Bruh, for sure, I'd be plowing that field like it's... I can't even say it, like, what? Like...
I was a bit worried when Jeffy started talking about plowing something.
That
I will
actually
say-
made me think of the fact that you don't really get much street cred with girls if you're like top EVE player in the world, but if you're like a League of Legends player, a Smite player, dude, or like a Dota 2 player that's really good, dude, you get
I
mad
don't know,
chicks.
fam. Like, I go to the Turbo Folk Club with my killboard printed out, and those chicks eat that shit up alive. They're like, oh, he's the celebrity, yay. Fuck yeah. So,
Doesn't
you're all
it
welcome to lie that you're me, right? You print out my
doesn't
killboard.
it hurt to get a new tattoo of your best solo kill every week? I mean, I tried.
Oh,
Oh, I've never killed anything, so I don't have to worry about that.
Okay, we've probably agreed that we would love to see more player run our tournaments, that we would love to see CCP support them more and more formats. But no, this doesn't really apply to me and Abby because we never go anywhere except for the disco. But
I got a
like,
picture of
No.
Yummy and JJ fucking dancing at the disco in my
Yeah,
head.
like we're like, ooh,
And the
choo, choo,
big,
choo,
oh, get it out!
choo.
Get it out! No, Jeffy, don't dance on stream! No!
He dances like every granddad does at a wedding.
no,
He does!
That's my chick's job. I just stand there and she dance, right? What?
You just change light bulbs, you know. You do
Hey,
the
yeah,
light bulb
that's the
change.
good
Power-
shit. Snakes going to
power
hand,
polka
and you're like,
disco.
oh, whoa, whoa,
One-
whoa, whoa, whoa.
one
What
more
you do?
word and I will use the Eurobeat. Okay. Let's talk about the player run events. Aside from the World Tour progressing so far, I didn't really keep on that much eye on it. There are some events coming up. I'm pretty sure that Frank and Suitonia probably know more about them because they're probably more likely to go to them because they don't go to disco.
Oh,
So-
there's the Russian meetup in a couple of weeks, right? Like I think 3rd and 4th of May in. Sorry, I think it's just 4th of May in St. Petersburg.
I mean, is that, I think the CCP is making that part of the World Tour as well, aren't they? Or somebody from CCP will be present, I've got a feeling.
Yeah, I
Like,
think they're sending like quite a lot of devs. Like I think at least like half a dozen. I think there's probably a list of what devs they're sending somewhere. But I think they're definitely sending like 6 or 8 devs, like at least.
Oh yeah, it seems that, honestly, I was memeing about them maxing Sunfest and instead sending devs out so they don't have to dev. But so far it seems that this format of fan events where CCP goes and attends already happening events might actually turn out better because honestly that will get more ground covered, and when you have more of those events happening you will get more shit to talk about from CCP side since they
I'm out of
will
coffee.
already have progressed. You won't have to wait half a year to know that there will be balance. So yeah, do we want more of the smaller fests and smaller events, or should we like just say okay that was
I think Jemmy's got it. Like having a smaller circuit leading into a bigger circuit. It sounds fantastic.
When that things happen, Eve goes to the top of the esports scene of all the gaming community if we get anything which resembles that. But at the same time, we're going to be getting a bunch of these sandboxed purist types of dudes who are going to be like, you're stealing content from Eve, right? Like, that's like so backwards and shit, I can't even begin to describe it. What about the dudes who would never even undock in the first place, right? It's like, there's no need to limit us to that thing. We can like have glorious tournaments and glorious streams, and Eve can be a super fucking popular game, and if like it develops itself like that, it will for sure reflect itself on the player counts and everything. But no, like dudes are like, I still don't get it. Like, someone like needs to tell those dudes the truth who are in charge.
Well, it's like it's so with most major so let's just talk about tournaments as an example. With most major esports, right? There's a huge gap between the professional players and like your average everyday player. There's like a it's a ginormous gap, not only in the way like the meta forms and like how they play the game, but also just like the mindset of the players, because these guys who have been brought together do this. Just like I'm sure there's a huge difference between AT ship pilots who are all on the same team flying together and like me and my friends going out to try and, you know, screw with darkness or whatever. There's a huge difference, and like they're literally, it's almost like two different games. And people talk about, you know, like, oh, evil never work in a tournament setting, or this or that, or like you need this or this, you know. And it's like, at the end of the day, no matter what we do, the tournaments that come out of Eve are going to be completely different than what we experience as an average day player. Even if we had a match-based EVE Online game, like it wouldn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's the tournament scenes are the highest players playing together with the highest communication they possibly can, playing against the other best players in the world. And that's what tournaments should be. And when you get to that point, the game takes on a whole nother beast and shape, and it's really interesting. I think that logic though fails against that, because they're not supposed to be the same thing. They're not.
Fair enough.
So what?
Like, how much money did those dudes spend on attempts on spin-off games from Eve? If like 1% of those resources was spent on making an esports scene for Eve and things like that, will be like fucking golden, mate. For sure.
So let's talk about like what a circuit would look like. Like, do you still want to keep 8-player teams? Would you want to
No.
shorten it?
8-player
Like
teams
players?
8-player teams are too big. So when you're building these teams and their brands, it's super duper important that there's a small enough team for a couple things to happen. One, there's too much information right now currently for broadcasters to grasp at any one given moment inside the tournament. So the casters have to finagle a lot more, and it ruins their talent in some ways, especially casters who are flavor casters versus casters who are play-by-plays. So it ruins that, and then it also is going to go through, and you need to be able to like grasp onto players. So if Jebby's on a team, and I'm fucking down, dude. Jebby's on a team, I want to root for that team. Jebby's the guy I know on the team. He's for me, he's one of the faces of that team. When you have 8 players, it's harder and harder to do that, because it becomes less and less about the individuals and like their personalities and what they bring to the table as pilots, and more about the team as a unit, which it's going like. So when you build these brandings, you have to be able to attach onto players. So the teams need to be smaller for sure, Frank.
Well, it also makes it more difficult to have like live event tie-ins too, right? Because like there's like CCP isn't going to be able to like fly out like, you know, like 4 8-man teams to FanFest or something, because it would just be like, you know, paying for like 32 flights and hotels and stuff would just be like way too ridiculous for their budget. So
yeah, and I mean also when you build these brandings, and so like say every one of your players on your team streams, right? So all of a sudden too, you start to get revenue for the team based off the fact that maybe Goonswarm has a team and they call it the Jabberwockies. Well, the Jabberwockies are bringing in money because people support the players, and so they support the team. So they're buying merch from them, whatever the merch is going to be. So then all of a sudden maybe CCP doesn't have to cover the costs anymore. Like it's all about about building the brands and the teams and doing it in a way that is actually not only sustainable, but a way you can actually do it. With 8 players, it's just, I don't see a way to do it with that. 16 players on one grid is too much.
The question was how many you would like to see.
5, I think 5 historically
5
is the bare
So-
is the top limit of
So
what we
what
see
do you
in
think
esports.
about 2 separate divisions with like a duo and trio, or versus, because
Oh, that's totally doable. And what will
So-
happen is one of the 2 will become the more prominent, and that'll just be how that works.
like fighting game communities have, you know, some games that will allow it have you know, have singles and duos, or like, you know, WoW arenas, or, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's always ones, but I think it's definitely possible. It's just
Well, part of it is like the late start on all this, right? Part of it is we have to work backwards first, get back to the ground basis, and then build the meta and build the tournaments and, you know, do the advertising so the people will come. And CCP historically hasn't really wanted to do that. So they're saying, well, we don't want to do this, so we'll let the players do this and we'll help them out like where we can, which is great. So it's the first step, and hopefully a really long, healthy relationship.
Fair enough. Anyone else still thinks they haven't unleashed their inner MOBA player? But that means we're not getting any Battle Royale in Eve?
Get an EVE Online Battle Royale, please.
I mean, it's way too late now, man. Like, Battle Royale's already dying, like, as a genre of game, and then by the time it's, like, implemented, it's just gonna be, like, completely dead.
But so it will, by the time it's completely dead, we will get it.
Shit.
Alright, I
Fuck,
get it.
Fuck. Sorry, my dudes. Pardon.
Yeah. Alright, I guess we will look forward to 150 players killing themselves in Triglavian Abyss space next year then. So we can move on to the point 7. And this is going back into the good old shit talk territory.
When are we getting the 20-man abyssal raids?
Those were
Oh.
incursions.
I am gonna roll a tank. I will be in a hull tanked Vexer with target painters. So target painters are my taunt modules. I will be the tank. So,
Wait, you got to fit ACM on it, so you know you got to taunt the boss onto you.
yeah.
Looking for raid, only gear score 600 or above. Please whisper.
I don't care about you, I'm gonna play Bard. Fuck your meta. I'm a Bard.
I'm a bard. I mean, that would kind of be like that would be a command desi.
Can we play EVE Online D&D? Can we get a EVE Online D&D game going?
Oh, we
for
have
this
anger
season?
games, right? It's like some kind of drug game based and developed by CSP.
I don't think we need to ruin either Eve or D&D more.
Oh.
Let's move on to point 7. And that's the cloud technology. In the cloud, powered by the cloud, with cloud, in cloud. I was waiting for someone to scream blockchain and then for Hilmar to jump out of cake and scream BitConnect.
Oh, my dude.
Alright, we're gonna comment shortly on the Aether Wars demo. In the historic 10,000 players concurrent online in single instance with no physics or no nothing of interest really, 3,000 players came together and then they dropped in the bots, so it pretty much evenly represented the population of EVE Online, and someone said, "Whoa, so many of you, so how did you enjoy it, and did you participate in it, and how much did it cost, you think?" Let's shit talk Aether Wars.
Oh, my dude, they were literally moving forward and pressing shoot forward, right? That's like, it was more like a technical stability thing, and I don't think they were really successful as they wanted it to be. It was like supposed to be the biggest space battle in recorded history and whatnot, and like the tech needs to like mature and shit. It's not like IRC where everyone can like plug it in and it works flawlessly. They need to like fix a bunch of issues in that system, right? Because it's like thousands of objects doing things.
Yeah, and if the objects were actually doing things except for existing in empty space, it might have been more like interesting too.
I'm kind of
Although-
sad that the live demo of something that I'm never gonna actually interact with inside of the game wasn't actually a live demo of the shooter they're working on for the beta or alpha or whatever they were gonna try and give us a sneak peek of.
I mean the one that's postponed again.
Is it postponed again? Oh man.
Yeah, that's what they say when they take them behind the shed, but we don't know what we do them with there.
I don't know. I mean, I think the problem is I come from a perspective that doesn't really care about big space battles, so it's like cool. The 64-bit client's cool, but it's like
But it was in the cloud.
It was in the cloud. Shit, never mind, dude. Mom, call the newspapers. They did it in the cloud. All right,
So-
I got it.
It's like they're trying to show some kind of initiative where they're improving the server infrastructure. That's like a good initiative in and of itself, but hopefully these experiments and tests and the public goodwill of like 1,000 people will be resulting in making the game better for everyone, right? Hopefully. I mean,
Right, I
what
mean,
will
like,
really
you know-
happen is they'll collect some dumb data and sit on it forever.
Well, I mean, if when all this comes to Forebear, we're gonna get more players in the game, which is good for the game no matter what, because more players equals more stuff, more explosion, more kills, more deaths, more more everything, and that's great. It's just I don't know, like it'll come to bear when it comes to bear, so I'm just gonna chill over here until that time
like,
comes.
I'm glad that they tried. You know, they had the highest of aspirations, and of course, when you set the goal that high, you're gonna miss it. But I don't think. I mean, their goal obviously was to have the 10,000 people, but I don't think they realistically thought they were gonna have it first time on live on air work flawlessly. That's just everyone knows there's gonna be stuff that goes wrong. But if someone is actively pursuing the goal of getting 10,000 people to be in a fleet fight with no DCs and limited lag, like, I think we as a community should support that goal, because like that would be, even if it takes 2-3 years, right? Having a battle with 8 to 10,000 people where no one's DCing, like ships aren't like desynced, that sounds amazing. That sounds just like
Yeah, that's living the dream, Frank, for
Yeah.
sure, lol. Like,
so I think having someone that's actively working on it is great. The goal was missed, but I don't think the goal was to hit the goal. If kind of get what I'm saying, I think the goal was to see how far they are away from the goal.
Yeah, I think that's the general feeling from the community. I don't think anybody holds ill will towards like better optimization of the game client and stuff and the servers and all that shtick. I don't think anybody is gonna be against that. It's just so part of the problem is from a player perspective, it doesn't feel super meaningful because it's not like a hard release and stuff like that. And it doesn't really give us a timeline exactly for when we can expect to see it. So like I guess from a player's perspective it's like, oh cool, and then it's kind of just like, all right, let's go back to our normal lives. I don't know if that makes sense. Like I'm not saying that the players like, that it's not cool. It's just it is what it is, and
I mean, it was a cool demonstration of a server technology, but honestly, so far, I didn't really see much that we could transplant into if from it. So, like, it was cool demo of something that doesn't really affect us right now. But okay, it's a new tech. Fine. Anyone else? Or are you still in the cloud?
What is this? What is this, Mark? Are you not going to talk about the Hilmar South Korea part of this? Hold on. What the fuck? What is this? Who's laundering money? Excuse me?
For anyone
I'm sorry,
wondering what the fuck DTM is talking about, what our sub note in that we're all following along with is Hilmar or South Korea laundering pay to win money through the cloud.
what the fuck?
Thank you, Frank.
Answer is up there in the cloud.
The money is in the cloud.
The blockchain, right?
The
Blockchain.
the siren.
BitConnect.
Disconnect.
Isk connect. Lol, 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 lol.
Disconnect.
Don't give them ideas.
Don't go. Fuck.
We'll know if gambling comes back.
What do you mean comes back?
Oh.
Sorry, I was just casting shade. Like, dudes are like, the only thing the gambling ban did was put it into some shady background scenes where dudes are like pretending, right? Let's not lie to ourselves.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there probably are like people who like do it privately, but I mean, I think it had a bad impact on the AT, but I also kind of feel like some of the sites that were doing like shady stuff, like Iwanisk, maybe like getting shut down was a good thing. I think also they kind of had to do that, right? Because at the time there was like all this drama with CS:GO Lotto and like the
Yeah.
Phantom Lord shit and a bunch of other stuff coming out, and also I
Fucking
think
Phantom Lord. Jesus Christ.
Maybe.
It's
Yeah.
taking me back. I feel old now.
yeah,
wasn't
and
that
also at
long
the time,
ago.
right? They added alpha accounts and they lowered the age to have an EVE account from 18 to 13. So I guess gambling was also like
Smoking
a
is
pretty
bad
big
for your
concern there
health.
too.
Don't ever smoke, right? Don't ever smoke ever.
I mean, it was obvious that they would do it, but still, honestly, I just want walking stations with fucking roulette and lots of potted plants that I can decorate my captain's quarters with.
Whoa.
But do not forget that
In
you
game.
can.
In game.
Yes.
In game.
For sure, right? Like, he would be like walking around being all risk adverse, sitting there drinking his quaif and shit. You would just walk up to him and be like, when the fuck did you dock your Thanatos? Bomb, lol. Right? That'd be lit.
And then you go and steal his potted plants.
Yes, that's my potted plants now. There's like trophy potted plants. To just
I
be
will
like,
pay
this
real
one is
money.
like,
Real money right there.
You can have special potted plants that Jintan likes to plant, and then you can live in the cloud too.
lol. King subtle.
And we can host all of that in the cloud. Fine. I think that will allow us to jump off the cloud, but back up yourself in it first, and go to the point 8. Well, this is not before the last, but almost the last. Navigation structures now that they are everywhere where they used to be again. So, how do you like the new jump bridges that act as if there were stargates and are now in range of fucking keep stars and shit like that?
Cracks me up when I catch an orca going through one, and I'm like, shouldn't have taken the jump gate, friend.
I think they should probably move them a bit further off the Citadel grid to like 500 kilometers. I also think that it kind of sucks that I know that CCP are trying to like completely replicate the same behavior of Stargates so that they're not like as confusing to new players. Like they don't have like a separate rule list like Jump Bridges had. But like when you scram someone, then being able to just like jump through and you can't follow them, like that kind of sucks.
Yes, right now they're in the weird position of where they're bad. It's jump bridge. Okay? Let's not pretend that it's something else. It's a fucking jump bridge. But it has gate mechanics applied to it. So either one or the other. Either make it act like a fucking gate, or just make it act like a fucking jump bridge. Don't try to like make some dog cat.
I feel like JJ, you sound like you just woke up and you found like something outside on your porch, like right in front of your door, and you're like just disgusted by it. You're like, what is this fucking heretical thing you've left with me? Like, what is going on?
I fucking opened my door today and there was this fucking jump bridge.
Lol. I mean, the best thing and the only good thing for that is that they're access control list based.
Yeah.
Right? Outside of that, it's like a meme. I've seen dudes anchor them unironically on gates. Right?
That sounds great.
Yeah, like it's stupid, but it works.
I think like more to Suitonia's point, like more moving everything a little further from the citadels. Like I'm fine with being able to undock like them being able to undock and see them, but you shouldn't be able to interact with me without like warping a ship to me. I think the stuff being in the Citadel range for the Citadel weapons and stuff like that is really not good in general. Just like jump bridges or jump gates, as well as the mining rocks.
Okay. That's pretty agreeable, Frank.
Yeah. I mean, that's the difference. When Jambridge was on boss, I mean, okay, boss was annoying if you were staying on the grid with it for too long, but, I mean, like, normal bridging boss did not pose that much of a threat to, oh,
And
boss
you could
thing.
defang it.
Yeah.
Or you could, incap it.
Yeah, or you could bring, like, single fucking simi and it would probably not do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's done now. I very much doubt we will see any change to it in a while because it's a structure, and doesn't seem like CCP wants to touch structures too often and too much. And I understand them completely. I don't want to touch them either.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Like, I wonder if anyone's charging for like a super highway, not like a super like capital, just like a highway from like Jita to whatever.
Like a daisy chain of those things. I get what you're saying, Frank. Yeah.
and like being able to pay for access. Like I would probably pay if I could have a chain that takes me from Jita area to
Tino?
Delve.
Delve would work.
Like to Iridia or to Aquarius or something.
Nice
just
picture.
open up the roaming possibilities.
That would actually be pretty sick because then the major part of Eve, which is the time to content, would go down a shitload.
I mean,
if you
an
had
idea we had probably like almost 2 years ago was to make a public jump bridge in HED to like just past the 9 pipe, whatever that one jump after it is, and just make it like almost Freeport to where all the solo pilots or small gang pilots can just pay their a fee for a Sino, and we'll add them to the list, to the blue, make them able to use it.
Yeah.
Like just being able to jump across the simple farmers guys would open up, would save me like 15 jumps anytime I want to go to fucking catch.
I mean, technically, you don't need to own the SOF in place where you're anchoring the jump bridge, so that's one thing. You can just... but, I mean, that's one positive change of this on this whole thing, but otherwise, yeah. Well, anyway, did someone kill Jump Freighter on public Sino yet? I mean, too bad. I mean, I saw the possibility, and I know that there are few bait ones. I just don't see that much content out of them.
I don't think anyone got killed. I mean, it will be on the kill boards and it'll show it there.
Oh, I think I saw an obelisk get killed like the week after they came out, but I think people are probably like used to the scams now.
What a shame.
CCP also cracked down on naming them the same.
Yeah.
Something like that. The naming scheme.
Yeah. You can name them. Actually, no, you can name them whatever, but they have Fleet Sino and Sino Beacon in front of their name. No, and the name of the Sinos itself is after that. So.
Right.
So unless you jump instead of bridge type of situation, yeah, basically not gonna scam anyone. Missed opportunity.
Because there's one in UBX in Gemini that
Yep.
like kills people occasionally. Like I'll link it in the chat.
Yeah, and I think there's one in Provin HTP, in one of the HTP systems too.
That's not a fair comparison because crazies literally jump the Dital gate with their jump freighters, right? That's like a thing.
Yeah,
Oh, that's Providence, so you say.
Yeah, but like for sure, it's not like the better content accelerant would be if the dudes were to fix the gate sliding bug, right? That would like increase the amount of fights in the universe significantly more than any jump bridges could.
yeah. So from what I see, basically, nothing has really taken the bait in 2 months. Well,
Yeah, like when it came out, like it was killing like a freighter every week or so, but hey, I guess people got used to the scams now. So
yeah. I mean, it had potential, but we cannot have fun in it.
I had fun once, it was horrible.
Don't say that publicly or I will have to report you.
Lol, 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 lol. Reported for logging in. Current year.
Reported for undocking is what you meant to say. In
Yes,
a
yes.
non-org.
Yeah. Anyone else? Anything to the new nav structures now that they're in full operational mode? Anyone got fucked by the highway? Or not fucked by it yet?
We can try to speculate what the next one is gonna be.
The next highway...
You said cloaking for desire with Doomsday.
Yep, sounds good to me, lol.
oh, that's the new Alliance Tournament prize.
The jumping keepstar.
No, imagine. Recon bubble. It's a normal anchorable bubble, but it doesn't show on this scan. We need it.
Oh, that would be
Recon bubbles.
Fuck yeah.
Yes. You need Recon 5 to anchor them.
Yeah, just make them rare enough to where using them is dangerous, and then
Well, that would
pretty
actually be
chill.
something useful in the Syndicate multi-point store, right? Because the current like Syndicate bubbles kind of suck. But if like maybe made it so the Syndicate bubbles didn't show up on D-scan, they would actually be useful.
Yeah. Honestly, that...
Holy shit.
Dude,
Wait, what?
Suitonia just broke Frank.
Okay. So
Well-
Hilmar, he must hire us now. But he won't. But yeah, I mean, I said it as a meme, but now that I think about it, it's a good idea.
It actually is kind of like an interesting idea.
Oh, it'd be good because you can actually kill bots with them because like the bots use like a script to like D-scan for bubbles or something, so they don't get caught. Like
Yeah. Just like give them a really short lifetime so you can like preset traps half a day in advance, but
like 3 hours lifetime and make them like
Yeah.
easier to kill or something.
Yeah.
So like a
not,
frigate can kill them.
You can't scoop them back up. They're just
yeah, basically make them like inhib, yeah.
yeah, like Sino inhibs where you can't pull them back, so they're just every time you deploy them, like it's sunk.
Yep. Or make them, or actually take the D-scan inhib thing that nobody basically uses and combine it with a bubble so you can hide in it, and at last it would be something.
DC
Yeah,
inhib
also the,
behind a
Syndicate
bubble,
warp
behind
probes.
the Sino inhib.
You know
Oh,
the Syndicate warp probes that are like half the size and they just last a minute longer. Those are useless right now, kind of, except for like very, very incredibly
Oh,
niche
the
things.
surgical ones.
Yeah, the surgical ones, the ones you get from the Syndicate LP store. Like if they didn't show up on a scan, they would be pretty cool.
Yeah, but
Better
basically
yet,
nobody
we'll just
uses them.
take this one step further. Bubbles that just don't show up on grid. They're cloaked bubbles, and then when you land in it, you just have all your cloak ships right around it, and they decloak as you land in the bubble because you
Oh,
lost.
so it's
I
like another
mean,
grid.
that's how it used to be with the Sabres before the agility nerf. He would literally bubble before visible on grid. I was doing it that personally. Like you would literally bubble a dude before he would see you on grid because the Sabre was so agile.
Yeah, and it had 2 launchers, but yeah, we're not probably getting that back. Whatever. I guess we actually got one good idea or a few good ideas out of this part, so that's something. Somebody patent it so we can get rich. And let's move to the, well, almost last point, technically the last point, and that's it going up, 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 the Plex prices. So, well, aside from me thinking that actually Plex itself might be at the point where it's obsolete for subbing, and that we might be at the point where micro subs or shorter time subs might be better way to actually get people to sub. Do you think we will break 5 billion by the end of the year? And did you hold? I mean, hold?
It'll probably be 3 billion, not 5 by the end of the year, but ISK is becoming more and more worthless by every passing day.
Well, I mean, there's been some like economy changes recently, though. So I think like what has happened to Plex has been like there's been a bunch of factors, right? So starting the new year, we had that new the new skill booster thing that lets you plug in like free skill injectors in like 16 hours or something with like no diminishing returns.
All
that
right.
that increased like the price of skill injectors, and then therefore had like knock-on effects for like people like resubbing ults to extract them, people buying extractors from the Plex store, people like buying characters and using the the 1000 Plex petition for a GM to move your character thing.
Also, like the MCT things, that's like the biggest part of that thing. I mean, Rorkals and anomalies and shit are at least attackable. If a dude runs 200 accounts using MCTs, 3 tunes on each account, you can't even attack his ISK, right? He's like doing the worst part in making ISK worthless for everyone else. And then like bots and shit, disgusting Care Bears doing their things, the Rorkals mechanics and whatnot. It all adds together to make the like dudes are hoarding up plexes and shit. Less and less people are buying plexes for real money. We can speculate that, but not like know it for a fact. And like I don't know, it's like.
Well, there hasn't been like a decent Plex sale in quite a while either, right? Because like in 2018, like Plex prices were like stable for a very long time because CCP like had those like DLC pack sales like once every month or something.
Oh yeah, the Galaxies thing.
Yeah.
And they like put like a ton of MCTs into the game, a ton of extractors and things like that, which probably kept like the Plex price stable because they were like satisfying the demand for like skill farmers. But now they're not happening anymore. But like Plex price has just been like driven upwards. And also, I mean, like more and more people are getting into supers. More and more people are joining like the broken like 300 mil an hour running anoms risk-free shit. So, like Plex has normally in the past been about takes about 20 to 25 hours to make doing like generic line member shit, right? Like when everyone was using Istars in anoms, like in 2015. Plex was like 1 bill, which was like 20 hours in an Ishtar. Whereas now, like the average line member has a super, which is like 20 hours in a super is like current Plex prices.
Yeah, I mean, if we go by the top mean of normal ISK printing, yeah, it takes as much time to make Plex as it always did, more or less. When Plex was 300 mil, it took a long time to make 300 mil. So, yeah, in that regard, yes. But still, with the Plex prices going up, it's pretty much obvious that people will start dropping cults, and that will probably happen because let's face it, supers and like hero dreads in C5 and L5s are not that easy to multibox at that scale. And Rorkals, while easy to multibox, I mean, how long does it take a Rorkal to make a Plex? after the nerfs and everything.
Oh, currently, like they make about 80 mil an hour.
Yes.
So, like they're not the Rookles actually make less than like a rattlesnake in Age.
Yeah. So in that regard, yeah, I think we can expect people to start dropping cards. Because, yeah, who the fuck subs his alts? You play them. But in regards to sub, I think that one thing that went a bit under the radar, but might actually have even bigger effect, is that CCP fixed regional pricing. You know that before, through Steam or officially through CCP, in different regions, the price of subscriptions were
Listen to
different.
this, boys. This is really good.
And that's basically normal. Like, you price the goods depending on local economy. Yeah. But now they've leveled them, so sub price is pretty much the same in, I don't know, in say Brazil as in Germany.
Yeah, that's because dudes are buying plexes for peanuts
Yeah.
by pretending they're living somewhere else where they're
Yes,
not.
with VPNs, yes.
I
So,
don't
yeah.
think that was the reason why they changed it though. I think there's like some new thing that was like
Yes,
by the UN or something, right? About like price fix
Yeah,
regional
Europe,
locked prices or something.
Yeah, that anyone has to, that you have to offer the price to all members of European Union for the same, or something like that. It might be part of it, but be the reason one or the other, we won't know. CCP probably won't tell us. I mean, that's like something their accountants have to do. Either way, this means that for some people, sub is now way outside of their price range. No, I mean, it's probably still affordable even for those people, but now it probably won't be at the point where they would like sub for prolonged periods of time. It just won't be worth it. So, what can we expect from that? Will we see either those people going alpha and hoping they can at last flex, or will we just slowly see sub numbers go down?
Well, I mean, we'll see. I think we'll see sub members amount go down, but we don't. I don't think sub numbers going down is like the end of all things. If they're still playing as alpha, maybe they take a month on, month off kind of thing.
Well, I think what you can do, right, is you can like you just like stay as an Omega, but you would just stop training skills. So you would just like extract your own head, and then you would like crab and make 200 mil to make up the difference that it costs to plex your character or whatever.
Yeah, but that's how Tesla does it. He doesn't skill anything. He just like once a month sucks his brain and plexes himself.
Yeah.
JB's actually skilling,
you
right?
don't
So
earn
he
any training. You just you have your what your training is set at right now, and
yeah,
yeah.
you just buy like a small skill injector or whatever whenever you need like the actual SP when you have the ISK, or you just don't suck your brain if you have like enough ISK to cover like selling an injector or something, so you only like suck 2 injectors out instead of 3 or whatever.
You keep saying that for over and over again.
Yeah.
Gonna go buy a cure now.
Yeah, do it. But I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure it will long term have. I'm predicting it will have in long term relatively bad effect on concurrent number of users online. One way or another, either there will be more alphas, or people will just go with the subbed for 1 month and then off for another month and then subbed for 1 month model. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why they did it, obviously. There are several reasons we told about. But still, I think it won't be good for the overall number of players active.
Has CCP said anything about the rising prices? Like, have they commented?
Nope,
at all?
no official comment in
No,
any
not yet.
liaisons. It was like just done.
I wonder. Yeah, I wonder if they will. If they will intervene, because they have to have some metrics, right, internally of, you know, the cost of price versus concurrent subs versus active players. Like,
Yeah, CCP
all-
is looking at that, so they absolutely are looking at that. They have those metrics.
right. So if it's getting to an area where they don't, you know, they're obviously like, if Plex being 4 bill, or, you know, a month of game time at 4 bill means they lose, you know, 20% of their subs or something like that, they're gonna throw in a Plex sale to make sure that the prices don't hit that much. Right. So they know. They just are doing a, you know, analysis, and if it hits a number where they're uncomfortable with, or metrics say they should be uncomfortable with, they'll intervene.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, I guess that about covers the doom and gloom. So with that said, if we're sitting on big piles of plaques right now, are you sitting on big pile of plaques?
Nope, lol, I'm just AFK, you know. Okay, what kind of Plex? Lol.
That sucks to be you people. But anyway, with the predictions, do you think we should sell, or should we hodl?
It'll go up for sure. Like, by the end of the year, it'll be 3 billion.
In theory, Plex should always rise, but I mean, I guess it depends on like if there's like major sales or something anytime soon.
I mean, technically, it should never go down because, yeah, it's infinite, but Plex is sorta limited by the number of people that sell it.
Well, at least it won't go down until like everyone quits the game and no one wants to play Eve. So.
Well, at that point, we don't have to give a shit about it, though. Yeah. Alright, I think we've covered the expert economic analysis. I'm sure that Bloomberg